What is your relation to Kendrick?
That's family.
That's family.
You want to know the real relationship? Whitney, which everybody knows, you know, Kendrick's girl, the mother of his children. That's my cousin. No, Dot family, bro. He been around for, damn, like 20-some years.
Right, 20 years. 20 years.
I met Dot when he was 18, going on 19.
Curtis, DIY.
DIYers, welcome in. Very special interview that I have lined up here. First and foremost, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't by now. But today I'm joined by somebody that I feel like I've known you since my son has been born, even before then.
Facts.
And it's an interview and a conversation I've been looking forward to. DJ Fresco, I know you as BeFre. First and foremost, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right.
Thank you for having me, by the way.
Man, it is an honor to have you here, bro. We got a lot of things that we're going to talk about. A lot of things we're going to talk about. You know,
Let's do it.
At some, we got the Bel Air here. He brought the Bel Air here.
Shout out to Rose.
Come on now. Shout out to Rose. But man, so do you remember the first time we met? Do you remember how long that goes back?
Bruh. I want to say maybe 2013.
2013.
It's been about 10, 11 years almost.
20. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy.
Because I met you through UTK.
Through UTK. Shout out to yeah. Shout out to him.
Through UTK. Man,
so you have many different creative titles that I have seen over the years, and you continue to evolve. There's a lot of topics we're going to get into. I know that obviously you guys have seen the title and the thumbnail and all of that stuff. We get into all of that, but we about to have a general conversation about music, art, culture, and everything of the above. But so let me get this straight. I met you as an artist.
Right.
A fascinating artist, a lyricist, first of all, and where you representing? Because you never let people forget. You never let people forget. Hold on, go ahead.
Leimert Park.
Leimert Park.
Yeah,
I have never met somebody so damn proud of where they are from. I don't think, matter of fact, I think when I was watching the Homegrown interview you did, I think you said Leimert before your name. I was like, yo, that's love. That's pride.
Nah, bro, that's really that's the birthplace, man. Like, I feel like I embody everything about. I mean, you've been to Leimert Park, you know, the music, the creative side, the people, just, you know, it's a vibe over there, bro. I feel like I embody everything from over there. So
interesting enough for Leimert, bro. Like, I went as a kid to the black-owned bookstores with my uncles and my pops, but I had no idea where I was at. And it took me getting into my adulthood doing shows at Bananas.
Oh, man.
Right, at Chaos Network before I was like...
Shout out to Verbs.
Shout out to Verbs.
Yeah.
I'm looking around, like I'm parking my car over there by, you know, the businesses over there. And I'm like...
Yeah.
Talking about the first time I started kind of doing shows out there, right?
Yeah, before they gentrified and changed
Before
everything.
they gentrified, yeah. But I'm looking around and I'm like... Nah, this is deja vu. And it kicked in. I'm like, oh, yeah, of course.
Right.
I don't know I'd been down here. But even over the years, bro, like that was the first place I met DiBiase, the No Can Do's. And matter of fact, one of the first shows that I was like, bro, I can't be in the house and be a hermit no more. When I was still living in Carson, I was working on music every day, was when I went to something called a beat cipher.
Okay.
That was it, Leimert Park.
Okay.
And I just pulled up and I was like, yo, that's DiBiase. Yo, that's satire. That's But man, what is the significance of Leimert Park to you? And let's start first of all for what was that for you as an artist?
Man, you know what? It's so many ways I can describe it. Just the influence.
Right.
The people that came before me, the Skilos, the Medusas, the Project Blow, Volume 10, Naomi Trendsetter. It's so many artists that came before me that influenced me. And every time I did music or had the thought, I thought about each of those artists. Because, you know, South Central, it's a lot of artists that came out of South Central, but like that little section of Leimert Park it's special. It's been known for music, movies, like you might always run into a celebrity over there.
Yeah,
you know, but
casual on some regular shit.
Yeah,
too. Like
they didn't film so many movies over there. Just it's a creative community. It's a creative village, but it's just the neighborhood, the atmosphere always inspired me. Going out on Sundays, just like casually, you know, might take my son, might go out with my wife, go see people playing the drums and kids, you know, before they gentrified it though, you know, back in the day, people hanging out by the fountain, you know, people selling dashikis, incense, people, the black business owners out there getting their money. It's something about that has a lot to do with the culture of the community. And I feel like every artist from over there embodies that, you know?
Right. Yeah, and anytime you do hear stories from the region, man, I feel like even sonically, man, I hear it in a lot of music. I hear the jazz in a lot of music. I hear, I hear a certain type of percussion in the music, a certain type of even speed of life that's being described. But with that said, man, tell us a little bit, because like I said, I only named one of the things that he do. You know what I'm saying? Like he came up as an artist, right?
Right.
But he's also a DJ. He's also an entrepreneur. He's also an A&R manager for
America's Black Boy.
Rising
artist from South Central LA, from the East Side.
Yeah. So, man of many hats. There's somebody that I could absolutely relate to. Yeah. And he probably the last person that could ever keep me on Team Light Skin. Because I told him I wanted to trade after this year. But we'll get to that.
Shout out to the Bay GP. Just dropped.
Not a random shout out to the Bay GP. I love it.
Yeah. Beige Brothers Unite. Come on, man. Yeah.
You know what? Okay, because I want to get into the origin story of you as an artist. But listen, let's park it there, man. What has been a misperception that you've seen all of your life as being a part of the beige conglomerate? Because you know what's crazy about you, brother? Like, I feel like you that's a crazy question. I feel like you never kind of like all the stereotypes that they have of us.
Right.
You know, whether it's hypersensitive, whether it's self-centered, always in the mirror type of situation. Right. I always looked at you and I'm like, that's a grown man. I feel like you've been a grown man since you've been 11. That's your demeanor, right?
Facts.
What is kind of something that you feel like you've always heard people kind of have a misperception of what it is?
Man, you know, it's it's funny as hell.
We got to start there. We
got to have real conversations.
We got to have a real conversation. Come on.
Or we can't get no resolution, right?
We need
that. Okay, so from my perspective, growing up light skinned, especially in South Central Leimert Park, I had to have balance. Like, you know, of course I got picked on every once in a while. I had to fight.
Yeah.
You know, to pick on a light skinned dude.
Yeah.
We fight. They leave me alone. But man, you gotta have balance. You can't be too sensitive, but you can't be too hard, because it's like, he's trying to overcompensate for being. Nah, bro, just with me, it's just be myself at all times. Like, you know, the main thing was to never be corny though. Whatever you do, just don't be corny. Just if you yourself, do what works for you. But when you do too much, nigga, you're corny.
And it's easy to pick out. How do you define that when you think about, when you have an avatar in your head? I could see as soon as you said that, you was like, just don't be that guy. Who is that guy?
One guy I never wanted to be like, and remember the Jamie Foxx show, Braxton P. Hart in the Brick.
Yeah, I remember that.
Don't be Braxton.
Because in my middle school, in my Carson middle school days, whenever I started talking too proper, they was like
Braxton P. Hart.
Braxton P. Hart. I was like, y'all niggas is crazy.
That's
when the beige rage came out.
I
was like, I hate it here.
Nah, man, it's being yourself at all times.
Yeah,
you know, like people can tell if you being authentic, or you know, the real one's gonna know. Oh, nah, he really about that. Like me, like I say, I'm from Leimert Park. He really embodies that. I'm not trying to be from here and here and here. Like, I'm from right here.
Yeah,
the way I walk, the way I talk, the conversations I'm gonna have with you, the intellect, everything is gonna embody where I'm from.
Right. And
I'm not gonna overcompensate, but I'm gonna give you that balance. You gonna know. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Talk to us a little bit about how you started. I'm assuming that your kind of your first foray into anything creative was you as an artist.
Correct.
That was the first thing.
Yep.
What kind of transitioned you into that space? What was happening before, and what was the kind of the handshake moment that led you into that process?
It's funny too, man, because when I became an artist, like I want to really do this, it was my last year of college. So mind you, I went to school in Tuskegee. So, you know,
I was reading about that.
My boy Chris, shout out to my boy Young Caesar. He's the one who put me in the studio. We started working on stuff, and the dude was dope. You know, we did like 3 songs, and he was like, hey, you know how Houston do, say, man, you gotta drop that, man. Khaled, man, you tight, dog. Like,
yeah.
But he really pushed me, and I'm like, you know what, man, I think I'm gonna do this when I get back home.
What do you think he saw in you? That was, I mean, because a lot of folks, we know we come across that get into this craft and they think they have everything. They have every category taken care of. What do you think that he saw in what you were doing that felt unique? Was it that you had a story to tell, or what do you think it was?
The story, the swagger, the intellect. You know, at that time I was really heavy into reading the Black Panther Party, you know, the history, Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale. And my mind was just different, you know, like it was in a different headspace. And I wanted to speak from a black man's perspective from South Central that went to school in the South.
Got it.
And my experiences. And once I got home, I linked up with my wife's cousin, and he had a studio, him and his partner. They had a real little situation. They was producing for underground artists, and I played something for him. The first song I actually did, bro, J Electronica, Exhibit A.
That was over that beat.
Over that beat. That was the first, like, when I got back home from school, like, got in the studio, like, that's the first song. Like, they mixed it and everything.
Yeah.
And Shaq was like, shout out to Shaq too. Shaq was like, nigga, you kind of dope. Like, you got something. Like, we can work with this.
Did you feel that way about your craft at that point?
Actually, yeah.
You had that confidence early on.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Because
that says a lot. Because a lot of artists, when they come into the craft, you know, they don't like their voice.
Right.
They're comparing themselves to the people that they see as the elites.
Right.
Because I know we share a lot of the same rap. We've had these conversations before.
Right.
But you had that confidence early on. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, and at the time too, bro, my favorite artist was Game. Like, I was from the documentary to the LAX album. Like, I was listening to Game heavy. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm really, and I could hear it. I'm like, okay, like, I'm trying to sound like Game. Like, nah, that ain't gonna work. But Shaq was like, man, you sound hungry. You really spitting bars. You know how to, you know how to write a 16. You know how to write a hook. Like, let's do something with it. And from there, man, we just started working. What was that, like 2009?
Okay.
Comes 2011, they end up getting like a small little distribution deal with what was that? It was a Universal boutique label under Universal called was it In Grooves?
In Grooves.
Yeah, it was In Grooves. Okay. So Shaq and D-Note, shout out to both of them. They had an artist named Corey. He used to be with Ty Dolla $ign, Ty and Corey. So Corey, you know, he was doing stuff with Dino and Shaq.
Wait, what year are we talking about? All of this.
This was like late 2009.
No, I'm saying, what year in your career at this point does all this
this was about like 2011.
2011.
Yeah. So I really.
I'm saying, were you already a few years into this? That's what I'm basically asking.
Yeah, about 2 years in.
2 years. 2 years. And you already getting access to.
Yeah, but at this point, bro, I'm just recording music, They're not putting nothing out. But when they played the music for the lady who was running a little label, distribution label, she was like, okay, I like the two artists that y'all got. So they set up whatever happened, it didn't pan out. Right. You know, it didn't pan out. So back to the drawing board that I break off with Shaq, my cousin. We started working. I eventually do a full length mixtape. Okay. The first live from Leimert Park.
Yes, sir.
So we did that in his apartment. He mixed and mastered, put it on Dat Piff.
Dat Piff. My God.
See, for the music, everybody know if you was on your mixtape vibe back in the day, you know Dat Piff was the place for mixtapes.
First of all, ladies and gentlemen, you talking to a man of culture. I need you to know that.
Dat Piff.
Look, this is someone that, you know, it's funny because we don't talk all the time, bro. But I feel like when we do connect, maybe it's a post that you put up or a post that I put up. Right. It's almost like one of them, you know, the older black men do one of those, and it's like, do you know him? And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Don't have to know him to have this unspoken agreement.
Facts.
I feel like culturally speaking, bro, I know that you work like crazy in general, but I feel like you're always finding a way to stay in tune and let the people know, like, these are the things that are of significance to where I'm from. These are the things of significance that maybe some of y'all have forgotten about. Right. But yeah, to me, that's another example of it. Dat Piff, bro. Dat Piff. I think that was where I first downloaded OJ and Kush. Was Dat Piff. Definitely a lot of Lil Wayne mixtapes was off of Dat Piff.
Facts.
But so you put the project there on Dat Piff. What are the expectations at this point? Because you got some folks that are strong relationships at this point.
Man, honestly, at the time, and mind you, we didn't put no visuals out. It was just It was some old. It was like a deep cover beat on there, but it was a few original joints that we did. But it was just honestly like getting stuff off my chest, trying to just expressing myself. Wherever it goes, it don't even matter at this point.
Right.
But I'm expressing myself as an artist, as a poet. But no, it did moderately fairly well, given that we print and pressed up some joints.
Right.
Sold those for like $5. Eventually started doing some underground shows. Do you remember Rick Hard? This dude named Rick Hard, he was a promoter.
Rick Hard.
Yeah,
he go by anything else?
Nah, he used to run with Snoop though back in the day. He used to promote like underground shows in LA, like underground hip hop shows.
I remember what was old boy that was doing the pay for play shows?
Oh,
you know who I'm talking about. I know you know who I'm talking about.
I can't think of his name.
Sean
Healy. Sean Healy.
Yeah. Sean Healy.
Damn. That's vintage
I
LA.
got PTSD right there just thinking about the Sean Healy shows.
LA.
But no, what was old boy's name that you talking about?
Dude named Rick Hard.
Rick Hard. Okay.
And shout out to him, man. He gave me like at least like 3 good shows. Like we
he said at least
like three good shows. We brought like 100-some people.
Yeah.
Like I got my little bread at the door. But nah, man. From there, I started building momentum. Like people like, man, hey, I'm on Facebook. This is when I was on Facebook back in the day. I'm on Facebook every day promoting. Twitter, like back then the gram really wasn't a thing yet, so I went on the gram. But promoting the mixtape, doing shows, mixing, mingling with other artists, getting to know people.
Right.
From there, I do my follow-up to Live from Leimert Park. I did it without Shaq. I broke off, did my own thing. That one was called The Rise Era. The rebellious, the intellectual, the savvy, and educated.
Got it.
So that was solely focused on my experience in college, me coming from college, coming home, finding myself as a young man, bumping my head, doing stupid shit, but that was like a therapeutic album, honestly. Like I had to release everything I'd been through in college.
We need those.
Yeah, not for sure.
Especially as artists. I think there's projects we make for the fans and there's projects we make for ourselves. Literally as fans of our own experiences and trying to paint a vivid story that may not sonically check all the boxes off for what we would want people to mass consume, but it has nothing to do with it. We sat there to make these songs that specifically talk to these periods in our lives. There's a project I always wanted to do, as you bring that up, called Songs for Winnie. Remember Winnie Cooper from Wonder Years?
Oh yeah. Shout out to Winnie Cooper. Shout out to Winnie Cooper, right?
Kevin Arnold's obsession with her kind of to me was symbolic of my obsession with music. Okay. And so I wanted to make a song. I wanted to make a project, completely instrumental project, and I still haven't done it, which is crazy. Yeah. That was basically songs for Winnie. How if it was made from his lens, and I was like, man, that's
a dope concept. You should do that.
The frustrations and all of that. Yeah. Nah, I'll retire producing, bro. I'm done, bro.
Man, it's still in you, bro. It's still in you.
I'm done. I'm joking. I'm joking, but I'm happy. But no, after this project with Iman, this is not about me. But I'm just saying, after that project, you get with some producers who really know how to produce you, and you start realizing, oh, that's why it took me an hour for one bass line. It took this nigga 10 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Hey, you coachable. As long as you're coachable, you're gonna learn, right?
That's important. Yeah. That's important. Do you feel like you were coachable at that point?
Definitely, because I was trying to learn. I wasn't that combative artist that, hey, that didn't sound right. You didn't have no energy. Nah, all right, man, I'm gonna do it again, run it back. Like, I listened. I was a student, So honestly though, man, like me being an artist, it was just for the craft. It wasn't, I wasn't, oh yeah, I'm about to do this so I can buy my mama a house, make $1 million. Nah. Yeah. Because I knew this is what I really love. It was an expression. It was therapeutic for me. Right. It was giving me outlet. Like, and to go back in time, I wrote my first poem in high school. I wrote a poem in. You
sure we not related, bro? This is like I'm like, nah, you pranking me, bro, because you telling me my story back. But go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nah,
you said you wrote your first poem in what was this?
12th grade.
12th grade.
12th grade. I wrote my first poem. It was called The Crack Epidemic. Okay. So mind you, I'm a crackhead baby. Like, we 80s babies. Right. So my best friend, shout out to Compton Vegan. My boy Lamel, shout out to Compton Vegan.
That's one of my first beat buyers.
Oh, word.
I got his merch up there now.
That's like, we crazy. Small world, man. That's my day one. But his mom, Auntie Rhonda, she used to hold these like poetry readings. Right. She used to gather a bunch of people. Everybody used to read their poetry. I had to do something. I had a family event. I wasn't able to attend. Lamel read the poem for me, and it got a standing ovation.
He read your poem for you, and they got a standing ovation. What was your reaction when you heard that?
I couldn't believe it, because I wrote that because of what I saw as a kid, and being around these elements. I didn't write it to get no recognition for it, but like, I was like, damn, for real? He was like, yeah, bro, they loved it, like they liked it, they loved it, they was clapping. I'm like, damn, like that's crazy. Yeah. And I told myself, I was like, maybe I can do this rap shit if I really wanted to. Right. There's no limits. Yeah. Shout out to Master P.
Man, yeah, shout out to Master P. I always said it, bro. I hate hearing stories about artists nowadays. Maybe this transitions a little bit to kind of how you view things from the lens now, because I always think about stories where people have had conversations with Master P, and he'll talk about how some people are just like turning a deaf ear to some of the advice he gives. And I'm like, I wish that was my uncle.
How could this man sold 75 million albums independently?
What are we talking about?
Like, he got 85% on each CD sold. Why would you not listen to this man?
I don't care if he's 40 years removed from selling music. Here's some game that he's going to, and I feel like even we're in such a lucky time, and maybe that's why so many younger artists, in my opinion, take it for granted. Right. In that you get to sit down from your home and look at him give you game about independence, right, without having to pay a dime. And that's the era we're living in. I was watching a video the other day we were reacting to on the channel, and I'm like, the fact that he's telling you these stories for free, these are actionable, practical items that you can do something with right now. Before, you had to pay seminars to go ahead and do that kind of stuff. You had to pay thousands of dollars if you had it, or you were just asked out.
The motivational speaker getting $250,000 to talk to y'all,
packing out the sports arena.
Man, that's crazy. But no,
the convention center and nothing.
I was a big No Limit fan, and as a kid, you don't know business. You hear as you get older, like, damn, this dude signed a 85-15 deal, like
unheard of at that time.
Like, so every CD he sold, he got 85%. Like, insane. There will never be another deal done like that ever again.
They'll make sure of that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They'll make sure of that.
For sure.
And he talked about how he even, he had an opportunity to either accept the money, the deal that Jimmy Iovine had there laid out for him,
$1 million.
$1 million, right? And then he talked about how he went to see who had the best deal at the time, and it was Michael Jackson. And he wanted to go talk to Michael Jackson's lawyer, and I think it was between $25,000 to $50,000 to go talk to him. He was like, the best money I ever invested.
Facts.
And I feel like some of that, it's not every artist, but some of that I feel like is missing today. And it's interesting when I talk to a lot of my peers that are of our generation, and I ask them, like, what is the most frustrating thing about rapping today? They'll talk about sort of the disconnect that a lot of artists seem to have with the art. Right. And how consumed they are with content, how consumed they are with all these different things. Thinking about that artist in that era, because we still didn't close the loop on that story, and thinking about now how you're viewing things from how they are now, what do you think are some of the biggest differences you notice?
Just me being an artist in the past, what I feel is missing from the industry, they don't do artist development anymore. I mean, if they do, it might be a few months. The artist might sit back and, like, okay, for instance, I feel like they still have that artist development camp.
Absolutely.
Because if you look at all the artists, they know how to give interviews. They got stage presence. Their music videos or everything about them is like, okay, Top took time with this art. You went through a process. Right. Me being an artist, even when we had our little situation with the distribution company, I didn't put out a project for 2 years. I was there for 2 years, but I was in artist development. I was going to shows with them and watching people perform. And
I'm about to say, can you kind of break down a little bit about what that actually entails? Because I think a lot of people, it's just an idea in their head because they've never actually had to experience it. Right. What are some of because you're doing that now, obviously, as you're developing the artists that you're working with, but what sort of things do you see that go into developing an artist?
Stage presence, how you carry yourself, studio etiquette, how you work with other artists, other producers, how you write your music, your style, fashion, all that goes into play. Right. Like, for instance, I'm about to take it way back. You know, the best A&R in the game to me was at one point in time, Puffy. You know why? He developed Jodeci. He helped develop Mary J. Blige. A lot of artists that came up under Uptown, he developed those artists, what they wore, you know, the swagger on stage, the things they might have said in the interview or on stage, like that comes with the artist development. And I feel like that's what's missing too, the A&R situation. There's a lot of A&Rs, I feel like, that they're not taking the time. I mean, your job is to make sure your artist got the right beats. Right. They doing the right songs with the right artists. Right. You know, it's certain things that go into that whole situation. And like I said, I feel like the time isn't being put in for certain labels and artist development.
Playing devil's advocate, and I've wondered this question too. Do you feel like artists nowadays, because of the double-edged sword that is the access and the reach they have on social media, the fact that they can do a lot of these things on their own, right? The fact that they can go viral on TikTok and at a moment's notice speak to 1 million+ people. Right. Do you think that that has made a lot of artists more of a challenge to develop?
Definitely.
In what ways?
Back in the day, it used to be a mystique with certain artists.
Sure.
You know, you look at Beyonce, she might post every once in a while, but Beyonce is one of the biggest stars in the world, but she still has a mystique about her
to this day.
she talks at the right time. She doesn't. I'm trying to put this the right way. Yeah. I feel like certain artists, they might do something that can possibly kill their career because they don't have the right guidance. Yeah. You know, you doing these antics and certain stuff. Yeah. It's not a good look for your brand. That's artist development. You don't have a person in your camp like, hey, don't do that.
And you make a great point in that that's probably a reason why you have an artist that is at an age where most people their age are acting a lot more free and acting a lot more out of control. Part of the development is, you know, also developing as a man, as a young man, as a young woman, and making sure that you don't do things that kind of trick off your position. Right. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of artists now that I see that I'm like, I can't imagine having to be responsible for somebody who's like, why do I have to listen to you? I'm the one with all the followers. I could actually do this on my own. And not to say that they're 100% wrong, but we are living in an era where you do kind of have the autonomy, but there's also a ceiling that some of them can't see. I think the thing that was eye-opening for me was when I started to meet some of these kind of what I consider more influencer than artists. And I started noticing like they can get the numbers, but they don't know how to sell. Right. And I feel like that's what development does as well. Yeah. Is that development puts you in a position to be profitable, to look like money. Remember Russell Simmons said in his book, he was like, no investor is going to invest money into you unless you look like you can make money.
Exactly.
And that's true. Why else would they do it?
That's true. That's a true statement.
I'm looking at these artists and I'm like, you know, how much effort would go into developing them if they don't seem like they're content where they're at. Right.
Right. Nah, I think that's, man, you hit it on the knob, but like it's a different time, man. Like you have artists that have longevity. You look at the Beyoncés, the Mary J. Bliges, the Kendrick Lamars, like these people, these artists that have this longevity about their careers, they have the right teams in place. Right. They have people that's knowledgeable about artist development, fashion, stage presence, etiquette, all these things that make great artists, marketable artists, artists that people want to come see. And it's like, they doing all this stuff that's amazing without the antics. Right. You know, and I feel like it's a lot of artists that feel like they got to sell the antics to sell the merch or the music.
Is crazy, bro.
You don't have to.
It turns you into the opposite of an artist. It feels artistic to do all these antics and these things, but it's like
it's not.
It's not. You're mimicking what you've seen other eclectic artists do in the past, but they weren't doing that as a show. That was who they were.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
So explain this to me, and I'm gonna not talk to you in my Curtis King YouTube voice. I see Mom's been working on that. Yeah, your mom's been on my head, bro. He been like, "Hey, don't do the YouTube shit in here, Curtis." I've been working on that. Shout out to my guy, your mom. So the last time I talked to you, bro, and I got to give you your roses, and you probably wasn't even expecting this, but you know, for those of you that are asking, you know, it's a great conversation that we're having. What is the context of it? I need you to understand how important this brother is to me, and that at a period in time when I found out that I was having a son on the way, I was looking for other brothers that I felt like, first of all, looked like we related, first of all, and two, other examples of what it was like to come from the places we do, but still show up as strong black fathers.
Right.
And I gotta say, bro, like, you were an artist at the time. I was an artist at the time. You were already a father at the time. I was becoming a father at the time.
Right.
And I think I might even hit you up about advice at some point in time. But the last time we were actually, we saw each other in person was 7 years ago.
It's been that long?
It's been, my son is 7 years old.
Damn.
And he bro, funny story too, bro, because that day is probably one of the still the most wildest days of my wife's and our marriage. We weren't married then, but went to an Angels game that day because for context, my brother here had a release party for what project now?
Oh, that was Live from Leimert Park, Part 2.
Part 2, right?
Yeah.
He had a release party. You remember what city that was in?
That was in Manhattan Beach.
Manhattan Beach.
Yeah.
My wife and I went to an Angels game that day, right? It's one of our first like big dates or whatever. She came, surprised me with some Angels tickets. I said, okay, cool. Went to the Angels game.
Yeah.
Then we went to downtown Disney, and I said something, and she just broke down crying, and I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, I didn't even say nothing, and she was like, I don't know, I'm so emotional.
Yeah.
Fast forward, we go to your event that night. Go to the event, man, see you. We shaking hands. I'm seeing other folks that I know there.
Yeah, because you produced a song on the project. I
produced a song on the project.
Yeah.
I did the trailer for the project as well.
Yep.
And so when I go there, and then randomly Dot shows up.
Oh yeah, and shut it down.
And then that was the first time that that all them stories I told about TDE back in my day when I produced for Absol, she get to finally see like, oh, he does know who you are.
Right.
But the whole day was insane, and we still talk about it. And I told her too. I was like, look, you can ask for a picture, but like, just know there's a certain unspoken thing here where like if you're gonna see somebody again, and you plan to,
right?
You know, just be respectable. You
and
know,
bro was trying to be low key too.
He's trying to be low key too, right?
He was in the back. He ducked in. You know, he had the security with him.
He
shout out to Two T's,
bro, and he made it about your event, and that's what it was about. But man, before I get to that, because we want to make sure we get to what your relation is to Dot, obviously, but bro, you were an example to me of what this could look like. And there were so many times I seen your interactions with your son, and I saw you go from there and seamlessly jump into doing your shows. And I was like, maybe I can still do music and do this.
Yeah.
7 years later, after your 6th or 7th creative hat, because you just so damn talented and you can do all these damn things, you DJing, you A&Ring. I guess my question, so help me understand what has happened between that period and now.
So, you know, it's crazy, man. After that release party gave me so much momentum because the turnout was not what I expected. I expected something a little less than that. Yeah. I didn't think Dot was going to show up. Now, he a busy man. He showed up. A bunch of people showed up, but the feedback from the project, and mind you, again, I didn't do no visuals for the album. It was just. I
mean, you did one visual.
The promotion, which nowadays, set it off.
Nowadays, that is the content nowadays.
Right. Yeah. But official like music video, I didn't do any of that. But it was just straight music and support from my people. You know what I'm saying? But what's crazy about that is, bro, during the height of the momentum and me actually getting ready to shoot a video, I had a conversation with my wife, and I'm like, you know what? It's either this or that, because I can spend hours in the studio trying to knock out this, knock out that videos, or I can be at home with my family.
Man,
you know,
talk
because at the time my son was 3, so I feel like that was that pivotal time. He really needed me to be there. You know, he's becoming, you know, this adventurous child, and he's talking, and I'm just like, bro, like, if I continue this, I can become successful, which that wasn't the plan.
Right.
I was just being an artist and
that
creative.
Was your trajectory, though.
Yeah.
There was no doubt in my mind. That's why even to this day, I still tease you. I'm like, when the next project dropping?
I know.
we'll get to that. I don't want to hijack your story, but yeah.
But I had to talk with my wife, and I'm like, you know what? I love what I'm doing, and I'm really getting better at it, and people really starting to gravitate to me as an artist. And, you know, she was like, pray about it. You know, she was like, I support you, you know, and she
shout
knew.
Out to her for that too.
Yeah, shout out to my wife, man, Gina. She knew what came with that rap life and being in the studio and, you know, like just being away from the family. And I felt like that happened for a reason, because I probably could have lost myself and lost the time with my family. Right. But I sacrificed and I walked away from music. I stopped rapping.
Man, how? What do you think was said to you? Because I know that had you to me come off as, especially the brother that I've come to know, as somebody who you seem very decisive.
Yeah, very decisive. I'm very decisive. My yes is my yes, my no is my no. But I am ambitious, and I never quit. I don't give up on anything. But I felt that it was something inside my heart that was just like, you can do other things. And so how this is going to tie in together, I had a conversation with Kendrick after my album dropped, and he was like, man, you know what? Like, your listening party was dope. Like, I like your album. He was like, it's just something in you that I see you being behind the scenes. Like, I don't see you as an artist. Because he seen me in the studio, like, talking to Dr. Dre and his manager Dave Free and all these other artists, and he like, you know how to talk to people. You look the part, like you can be behind the scenes and get your bread. He's like, I just see that for you, like I envision that for you, and I didn't know what it meant. I'm like, damn, really? Like, what does he mean? I don't know if it was a manager, I don't know if it was a DJ, I don't know what it meant. But then it comes that 2-year gap. 2017, I walked away from music. Fast forward to 2019, I meet America's Black Boy. Which is my sister-in-law's boyfriend, but we family. Right.
All this damn talent just within arm's reach and family.
Right.
What y'all got in y'all?
Bro, the first and shout out to Black Boy. The first week I met him, bro, like, you know, we chopped it up. Like, I'm like, okay, this nigga fresh. Like, he, you know, I'm like, where you from, bro? He's like, I'm from the East Side. I'm like, okay. We start talking about music. Didn't know he did music. He mentioned to his girl, my sister-in-law. He's like, I got a show. And I'm like, you got a show? Like, he's like, I do music. I'm like, word? Like, I told him about me. I used to do music. Right. The whole rundown. So he's like, man, you want to come to one of my shows? I'm like, yeah, I'll pull up. Went with my other cousin. We went to a show. Cool little vibe. Something in Inglewood, like ducked off. Badass was in there, by the way, random as fuck.
That's crazy.
That was right before he passed away, too.
Right, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Badass. Badass was in there. I'm just like, nah, that's badass. One of my favorites. That's crazy. But anyway, bro got on stage, man, and it was just something about him, like, this nigga's from the East Side. Like, he didn't have that aura of a, you know, typical person from the East Side that made me like, oh, okay, like he had a different aura about him. Yeah. It was his music was jazzy, it was hip hop. It wasn't LA to me. Right. And I'm like, damn, like this dude dope. And we chopped it up, and he was like, man, I don't have no manager. Like, you want to manage me? That shit was just, bro, I swear to God.
Random. He just randomly like. Were you already kind of giving him advice at that point in time, or was he thinking something that did it feel like it wasn't so out of the blue because of the advice you were giving him?
He would play me stuff, and I would give him feedback, and he gave me his ideas of what he wanted to do, and I'll just give him constructive criticism and what I thought was good, what I thought wasn't. And from there, bro, we was together one day. He was like, man, you want to be my manager?
It's crazy.
And I'm like, for real? He's like, yeah, like, I think you got what it takes to be a manager. I was like, I never managed nobody. Yeah. But, you know, I'm an organized person. I know how to talk to people. I know how to get shit done. So, and me knowing music, I was like, let's try this out.
Were those conversations you had with Doc coming back to mind at that point of maybe this?
It made sense then.
Yeah.
It made a lot of sense.
Because I'll be honest with you, and I know he is obviously who he is. Right. But, you know, as a man, I hear that from somebody, and I'm like,
Yeah.
She gonna play, you gonna fuck with my music then? Like, that's just my insecurity. I'm just saying, for me, speaking for just Curtis King, I wonder, like, you know, well, is that a statement about the quality of my music? Is that a statement about that? But to have the maturity to look in that moment and say, no, this is not about a deficiency somewhere, but this is about him seeing an untapped potential in another region, and then for that to align itself. And that's not your average artist out of nowhere, bro. Like,
it felt like, honestly, bro, like, it felt like God placed him in my family for a reason. Like, I'm talking about Black Boy. Like,
yeah.
It just, I don't know how that shit happened, bro. Like, and it ain't just even right now, it ain't just artist and manager. I mean, he my business partner too, but it's like my little brother, you know, like, I'm big bro, he little bro. Like, we got a little brother, big brother relationship, and I respect him as a man. The artist shit, that's one thing, but like, I really fuck with him as a man. Yeah. And the artist shit just adds the value to it. You know? But so me and his situation, damn, we did 2 projects together so far. We did his first album, The Sage Theory. That came out amazing. Like, it was such a dope project. We're actually in the process of getting it remastered and putting it back on DSPs. Nice. So I A&R'd that project, and then we did his second project, America's Under Attack. I A&R'd that project. Then he took a little bit of time away from music to focus on family and certain situations, but we working on this follow-up, The Sage Theory 2. So, you know, I'm behind the scenes, bro. Like, I'm
telling you, you sure you ain't part Jamaican, bro? Because I promise you got all kind of hats, bro. And I say that respectfully, because it's not like you get in these places and you just do. And I'm not saying this to say that you don't have to, like, work your way through the mud like anybody else. But I feel like I've seen you kind of rebrand or recalibrate, and you show back up. And it's like, no, I didn't come here just to be another guy out here. Even when I seen you DJing, I think I seen within a week span you DJing, and I seen a picture of you and Big Boy. I'm like, how you just? God is good.
God engineering, brother. That's all I could tell you.
I hear you. I hear you.
Hey, I mean, I don't know, man. It's crazy how life works. Yeah. And I feel like me as a person, everything I've been through, you know, whether I went through, you know, at one point in time, I didn't have no manager in me. I did everything on my own.
So you never had a manager in this process?
At one point, you know, my cousin Shaq, he was my manager. Okay. And then I broke off, and that Live from Leimert Park Part 2, bro, he mixed and mastered it, but I put that project together, basically, like, you know, with the help of a few others, like, you know, you and people that help with the artwork. But like that whole project was my vision. And
I got that from when we did the video, though. I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't think we ever talked about that, but when you set the stage of how you wanted the visual to look, you're one of the first artists that I work with that I felt like were using their God-given gift as an artist to be a director. Because you were telling me, you were like, I got 4 locations, 3 or 4 locations, and we went to every one of them locations. We didn't use all the footage from all of them, but you knew that you wanted to go on the stairs of this one school. You knew that you wanted to go at the Leimert Park sign here. You knew, and every single time, no script, you just went up there and you did your thing. Yeah. And you had this thing played out. Even like, I still, you know, I don't look at myself as a videographer, but I still, one of my favorite scenes is you on that car and in the palm trees right behind you.
That shot was crazy. That shot was crazy, bro.
Hey, I was like, go ahead, Kurt Angles. That's my moniker, Kurt Angles. Man. Go ahead, Kurt Angles.
Hey, you know what's crazy? After I dropped that, bro, so many people asked who shot it, and I gave them your name, and I was like, my boy Curtis King did that shit. Like, and bro, it was crazy. I just had known you for a producer and artist. I didn't know you as that guy, that visual guy. Like, bro, you talk about a man wearing many hats, bro. That's you too.
Yeah, but you know, I get to be Curtis King interviewer now, so I get to leave, act like that never happened. But you know what? That's why I think that's another reason why it was inevitable for us to have a conversation, because I do see so much of myself in what you do. Even if you don't know that, like, I see when you like I said, when you make the pivot, you don't just make the pivot to occupy time. You make the pivot to do the thing at its highest level. I see the drive. Even we'll talk briefly. You'll be like, I'm going to do this thing. Not I'm going to try to do this thing. This is what I'm currently doing. And I think that that's something that you know, it's not on you, it's in you. It's something that people would have to just learn vicariously through talking to you, or just, you know, understand it for a passion of their own. But yeah, I got to give you your props on that, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
So, man, with that said, everything that's going on right now, so how has the sort of the transition into DJing, what kind of brought that about?
Man, I always wanted to mess around with it, just to be like, I always had a love for DJs, bro. Just, you know, like Jay Dilla, the Jazzy Jeffs, like all these dudes that I watched as a kid, like, do they shit. And it's just like, damn, man. Like, I mean, of course, I don't use turntables, but at the same time, I always had a passion to learn how to do it. It's crazy. I had a conversation with my mom just randomly. I was at her house and I was talking to her. I was like, you know what? I want to learn how to DJ. Like, I want to pick up DJing. And she was like, you serious?
Right.
And this was close to my birthday. This was November. No. This was November 2020. Okay. So I started DJing officially January 2021.
That's crazy. After the pandemic at that, bro.
Yeah. So this was around my birthday, and you know, me and Moms was talking, and she's like, "You really want to DJ?" I was like, "Yeah." My birthday come around. Mom's like, "I ordered you some DJ equipment." It was some beginner stuff, but Mom's like, "Bro, like." That woman believed, she was like, I know you love music and you're gonna be good at it. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, like that shit broke me down because I wasn't expecting it, you know. And so another one of my relatives, my wife's aunt's husband, he's my uncle, you know, shout out to my Uncle Lenny. He invested in my DJ career as well too. Okay. That's how I got the big with Big Boy.
Big Boy. I'm like, wait, I promise you just, but nah, but
he plugged me with that. Yeah,
that's
man.
Crazy, bro.
So Mom's was the initial believer in what I wanted to do, and it wasn't no, hey, I need some help getting it. She's like, I ordered you some equipment. And I'm like, damn, like.
All right, so you got to knock this off, bro. You got to knock this off. You got to knock this off. I'm going to tell you what you got to knock off, bro. And I promise, I'm not trying, this is not about me. I'm just relating to you, and this is why I'm glad we're having this conversation. My first producing equipment, my first omnidirectional microphone was on a Christmas, and Mom's just pulled up with a Lexicon Omega audio interface and a microphone, and she said, "You seem to be very serious about this music thing, and I want to go ahead and give this to you." I didn't ask her for that. She knew I was working at Quiznos at the time. She knew I was going to work until I, you know, pay my little car payment on my little Passat that I had, and I was going to get that, and I was going to go ahead and get my equipment. If I had to use them damn jazz speakers for as long as I did, I would.
That's tight.
But she gave me the box, and she was like, she gave me the box of equipment. She gave me the microphone. She even had, like, you know, back when sound packs was on DVDs, she gave me a DVD for that shit. And I'm like, bro, I sat there on a patio in Carson, and it was freezing in Carson at that time, to the point where I blow out and I see the cold air, and I'm sitting on there making a beat. And I think the first thing I sampled was that song that was on Donnie Darko, that Mad World. And then
I think I know what song you're talking
about. In dreams in which I'm dying are the best I ever. I don't know why I wanted to sample that first, but I flipped that, and then she was just like, I never seen you that driven to want to learn something. So you selling that story, I'm like, yeah, bro, we're gonna have to go ahead and do like a 23 of me and see what the relation is, because it's too much overlappage in the stories, man.
Man, just
shout out to Moms.
Yeah, man, Moms. But bro, like, she fueled my love for music. Like, her record collection back in the day when I was a kid was stupid. Like, I took half her record collection back to my house.
I wish I did that.
Like, I stole a Kang. Like, it's a few like Barry Manilow and some other shit that I didn't want.
You was like, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to Barry Manilow, but I'm like, you know, the Whispers, OJ's, yep, Anita Baker, give me that, yep. So I ran through her album and took them. But no, man, like, she's the one who fueled my love for music. Like, you know, watching her clean up on Saturday mornings, listening to Anita Baker. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I was that kid that really grew up in the household. Like, you know, but yeah, man, she invested. So fast forward, my cousin had got out of jail. Like, we had a welcome home party for him, and my auntie was like, you know, you want to do your cousin welcome home party? And I'm like, for real? She's like, yeah, like, you got your equipment, like, let's do it. I'm like, damn, like,
did you feel ready, or was it like, I'm gonna get ready, I'm gonna
like,
figure it out?
You know, like, me being ambitious, like, I know I had like 3 weeks, so I'm like, fuck it. Like I'm in the crib, like learning this shit.
You teaching yourself?
I'm teaching myself. I'm watching YouTube is your best friend. I'm watching YouTube tutorials. I'm like, I'm about to get this shit. So we do the welcome home party. It's probably like 100 people. So like, you know, everybody giving me like, okay, but I knew what to play. Like I'm playing that shit. So I'm playing all the, you know, and everybody like, damn, like how long you been DJing? I'm like, this is my first real DJ gig.
That's
like,
crazy.
Like, damn, for real? Like, you know, it's old folks there, like younger people, like everybody talking to me like, man, hey, keep doing your shit. And I had business cards ready. I'm passing out business cards. So from there, bro, January 2021 to now, like the journey has been amazing, bro. Like, man. And it again, I never got into it to be a professional DJ and to be at the clubs. Like, it's just something that I love to do. And bro, like I've DJed in front of Big Boy. Like I DJ'd $1 million wedding that DJ QUIK performed at last October. Kiki Wyatt performed. Like, bro, like
you recognize it's not normal, right?
Like I literally, like DJ QUIK's son is next to me at my booth. QUIK is on my microphone rapping his songs. I'm like, this nigga DJ QUIK is one of our heroes. Like, bro, we grew up on, like, this man, his breath is on my microphone. Like, this QUIK, bro. like no homo, but like this.
I get what you say. I get it.
Come on, man. Like, bro, that shit felt surreal to me. Like, you know, I shook his hand, chopped it up with him, but like, I'm like, damn, like, bro, like this is really taking me places. Yeah, and I'm getting to meet interesting people. You know, like DJ Kendrick's son's first birthday party. I'm like, bro, it's connecting with people. Right. It's not about the money. It's not about who gonna be there. It's just like the feeling of people coming up to me like, damn, like, hey, you made me feel good. I had a bad day. Like, you got me in good spirits. Like, people really walked up to me and told me that. That's just crazy.
Do you feel like maybe some of the same things that were beneficial in music, right? I'm not even saying beneficial, the same kind of therapeutic properties that maybe you had in music that you were giving to other people, because people that say music is my therapy, right? Do you think that same thing might have been existing, but now you're just utilizing that through DJing?
Oh yeah, for sure. Music, DJing, bro, is, I've done real therapy before, but like that's my getaway. Like, that's my, you know, I can be an artist on this computer and this DJ board. Like, I'm gonna mix this. I'm gonna hit him with this. Like, that shit really therapeutic for me, bro. Like, you know, it takes my mind away from what I got going on in life. You know, that 4 or 5 hours I get to be around these people and create a vibe. Like, bro, so many times I've had a crazy ass day and I had to do a gig, and the gig just shifted my energy, and I went home just on a high. Like, I can't. A lot of DJs will probably say the same thing. Like, it's a high you can't explain. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I had a DJ one time break it down for me. He was like, he knew that his responsibility was serious, and he wanted to make this a passion. When he looked out in the crowd, and he was like, there's a good possibility that somebody in this crowd is not going to make it home. And this will be the last song they dance to, laugh to, smile to, enjoy their time. And people will always remember the last time and what was played at that last time.
That's crazy.
And he was like, when I had that thought after watching a crowd, he's like, it's like 400 people here. There's a good chance one of these people are not going to make it home. Damn. He thought about the responsibility of how ingrained being a DJ is in the memories of people. Because you think about it when we're kids. Even when we're talking about, talking about moms and cleaning up, you're thinking about songs in your head, I'm sure.
Yep. That she played that just stuck with me forever.
Whether like Anita Baker or whatever that pops in your mind, like it's so dope, because even now I'm recognizing that that is part of the cultural programming I think that comes from my parents, and that now I hear certain songs and there's a smell that comes to mind. There's like a certain time of the day that comes to mind. Just instantly listening to certain music, especially the artists like Marvin Gaye, Curtis Mayfield is another one of those.
Oh, that's my dad's favorite artist right there. Man,
yeah, yeah. So that is. Can you? And this will be a very broad question, but you specifically said we were going. This is a lot of things you said. We're gonna talk about another thing. But you said, look. I'm gonna break that one. At some point, we're gonna talk about it. Don't worry about that. We just easing our way into the conversation. But one thing you did say, you said, man, I want to talk about the culture when I come on here. And what a time for culture conversation right now. We were talking about this offline. The events, let's just say the events for right now. The events over the last X amount of months, I think, have put a hyper focus on the significance of culture. And you're somebody that I feel like no matter what year you go check your Instagram, you have not switched up. You have been all about the culture and in making sure that that is a part of whatever story you're telling.
Yeah.
That culture is embedded within that. I feel like I have not heard that word that many times as I've heard it now. Even on my own channel, I find myself saying a lot of times the culture. But for me, at one point, it was just so embedded that I didn't think I had to say it because I thought everybody had the same understanding of what that is. But with that said, the general question I got for you, and I know you want to say something, but the general question I got for you is,
got an itch. Yeah.
What is the significance of culture to you? And then whatever else, that other point that you was going to circle around.
Man, culture is what I lived growing up in Leimert Park. Culture is going into all my friends' house and all their parents, our parents had black art in the house, had incense burning, had, just, bro, like, it's so many different narratives I can come up with of what culture is to me.
Smell a hot comb.
Bro,
I get cussed out for using Murray's because you put too much in.
I know we're not in Leimert Park right now, but like, I can hear a jazz song in my head and it's gonna take me to Leimert. I'm gonna think about Sika. I'm gonna think about so many childhood memories of just being around and what I saw and what was developed in my mind of what culture is. So when I tell people, I feel like culture is everybody's saying culture, but they don't know what it means.
It's a buzzword.
You don't know what it means.
There's no emotional attachment to that word.
Like, it's two different people in this world. It's people that are in the culture and it's people that are of the culture.
Hold on. Don't say another word. Don't say another word. You heard that? Did you heard the sound effect? Okay, making sure you heard that. All right, just making sure that I can turn it up a little bit more. But yeah, so what is the difference for those who are culturally tone deaf?
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. There are people that were brought around the culture that learned different things, how to dress, how to talk, how to move, bro, like, and it's people that grew around it. They have no choice. We have no choice. We're of that. We're children of the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, real culture, bro, you can't pay for that shit. You can't. It's no price point on it.
Before you dive into that, can I double back to a question that you said? Because, bro, this is a personal thing for me.
Yeah.
I have not in my life recognized how many East Side niggas I know. I have not in my life recognized how many of those, like every time we're telling another story, they're like, oh, that's. And then you just said it today. But then you said something else. You said there's a certain demeanor that you know of. To me, you describing what that demeanor is going to give a good idea for those who are still in a blind spot of that.
Bro, I give it to you like this. My 3 best friends, 2 of them from the East Side.
Yeah.
1 of them come from Compton. Like, that's
just what it is. Yeah.
It's what it is. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like in today's time, people really are trying their best to emulate what they think they know about the, like, bro, like, we really from this shit. Like, like, I don't know, like, even I let people be, but I let, I don't let certain shit faze me. But like, when I see people, when I go to Leimert Park, I go see my mom. I see all these people over here. And
these people,
they, they're like, they're taking pictures and they're
right.
Like, bro, like we been over here. Like, where was y'all at before we was on Insecure and all this stuff? Like, come on, man. Like, shout out to Issa Rae, but like, bro, like that's what. Okay, I'm probably gonna get upset, but that's what irritates me sometimes, because I feel like people really try to capitalize off the culture of Leimert Park.
I see it.
It's bad though.
They're trying to say what they say. Leimert Park is for sale. That the way that they're trying to operate things, the way they are.
But it's really not for sale.
It's not. Can't be.
Yeah. Because the real natives are still around. You won't know who they are, but you can't buy that culture.
Can I tell you the craziest moment? It's not even the crazy. I should say the funniest. We finished a banana show. Everybody had left, but we was out there just chopping it up out there.
I got a crazy story to tell you about that too. Go ahead.
Please do. Now, I heard some crazy stories about you pulling up there and causing chaos there, but that's another story for another day. Or maybe it is for today. But anyways, I'm there chopping it up with the homegirl, and we just chopping up. It was like 4 or 5 of us. And they obviously got like the park across the street, and they got I got a homeless population out there. Old dude yelled out, "All right, y'all done did y'all rap shit." He said, "Get the fuck out." He said, "Shit about to get real out here."
Facts.
I said, "Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and make that move, because it's a whole nother life. It's a whole nother part of the whole nother time of the city right now."
Check this out, bro. It's people over there that don't fucking play about that section at all. Like, you come over there being disrespectful, the natives gone. Don't run across the wrong
way. You said the natives. I love that.
The natives. I say we the natives.
Right.
But that's another story for another day. But it's crazy you brought up bananas. I got a funny story to tell you. So this is when the Warriors and LeBron are the Cavs is playing in the finals. This was like 2000.
This is a 3-0 one? This was they came back from 3-1 or whatever
I think this was 2015 to 16.
Okay. So it might have been the KD. Was it the KD year? No?
Yeah, KD was. Yep. He was in the finals too.
Okay.
He's playing with the Warriors.
Okay.
So, we watching the finals at my crib, me and my wife crib, the family and stuff over there. So my boy, that's from Leimert Park, he was watching the game at our house. He was visiting in town. So he's staying at his mom's while he was in town. So he like, man, you run me back to the crib. So Kendrick's there.
Right.
So I'm like, hey man, run with me to take the homie back to Leimert. He's like, yeah, bet. So we riding. It's a show at Bananas. So he like, so we passing by. He like, hey, what's that over there? I'm like, oh man, it's a little hip hop show they do, once a week, like, some underground shit for the culture. I was like, the homie Verbs would be doing that shit. So he like, let's pull up. I said, what?
This is Dot saying this?
Dot. Yeah. This is to Pimp a Butterfly air. He like, let's pull up. Yeah. I'm like, you for real? You sure? He's like, yeah, man, fuck it. I want to see what it's like, the culture over there.
Right.
I'm like, all right. Park.
He said, what's the all right? Are you just thinking because of the chaos that might about to happen?
It's just a gang of hip hoppers.
Yeah.
Hip hop heads.
All know who the hell this about to be, who pops out here.
It's probably like 100-some people in there, bro. It's crazy. So I see niggas outside, there's people inside. So, bro, we walk up and nobody really noticed it's him yet. But we get to the door, Verb's at the door. He like, oh, what's up, bro? I'm like, hey man, like, I got somebody with me. You wanna come in and check it out? He like, yeah, just like shoot me, like I think it's like $10. I'm like, bro, like I got K-Dot with me. Like I got Dot with me. He like, oh shit. Yeah, y'all come in.
Oh, you good.
Come on, come on in.
Shout
so,
out to Verbs,
bro, we go in there and they doing their shit in there. So we posted for like a good 15 minutes. So bro, like y'all really be doing this over here? I'm like, yeah, bro, like we this is what we do. It's a vibe over here.
Right.
By this time, niggas done sent out tweets. People,
I wasn't there that night, but I got text messages.
The crowd got bigger.
Sure.
We go outside and it's niggas everywhere. So I'm like, fuck. So as soon as we walk outside, niggas like, bro, can I get a picture? I'm like, hey, like we gotta roll, bro. Like he take a few pictures, but like I'm like, damn, like that shit was crazy, bro. Like I'm like, bro, we can't do that no more. Like
I'm like, yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, Doc, we can't do that shit no more, bro.
He said we can't do that shit no more. Yeah, what do you think it was? I mean, obviously he could speak for himself, but what do you think? Before you get into that, what is your relation to Kendrick?
That's family.
That's family.
You want to know the real relationship? You want me to tell the?
I mean, it's on you if you want to disclose that. That's and I'll get you some more ice in a second. You know, yeah.
Nah, we ain't need no more ice, man.
Good. All right. I don't know why the hell they gave you this.
So that's
This is warm. That's crazy.
Whitney, which everybody knows. You know, Kendrick's girl, the mother, his children. That's my cousin.
Right.
Yeah, that's my cousin. So, yeah, that's Dot family, bro. He been around for, damn, like 20-some years.
Right, 20 years.
20 years. I met Dot when he was 18, going on 19.
So when he was actually still K-Dot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Training Day mixtape, like,
yeah,
him and J-Rock, they did that little East Coast mixtape, like, bro, like,
yeah,
I seen the formation of TDE from beginning to where it's at now, bro. So it's a beautiful thing.
So now that we have arrived to that name and we've arrived to your relation, there's a few different questions I wanna ask you about that. But can we just zoom out first on some hip hop shit?
Okay,
you're a hip hop head.
Facts. Let's do it. Whatever you got in the chamber, let's go. So
first of all, no, we got to preface this the right way. This nigga sent me a text one day. I still don't know what it is, but we gonna get to it somehow. This nigga said, he said, hey Curtis, I just do an interview soon. I said, yeah, for sure. You already know we got that plan. He said, I feel like breaking the internet. I said, what you mean? You can't just send me no shit like that and be like, I'll get back to you at 8.
Not break the internet, but like,
you said something along them lines.
like ruffle some feathers, like bring people back to reality, man. That's not break the internet. No.
Yeah, you're not break the internet. Okay, maybe I'll exaggerate.
Like,
maybe that's just my exaggeration.
Have an uncomfortable conversation for some people out there that
What and this is something, bro. And I got a few different questions, especially knowing your relationship, obviously to Whitney. That was a point that I brought up. And maybe it's because I feel like, I've worked with Dot. I've built up a bit of rapport back in the early years when I was working with Soul at that time. I had more of a relationship with Soul than I ever did with Dot. But like, I always wonder about the human beings when there's a back and forth. I wonder about the human beings when somebody passes away, right? When Mac Miller passed away, all I could think about for whatever reason, I'm sure that's God. I'm thinking about his mom. I'm thinking about, how does a family sort of kind of find comfort in a time like that when these are real human beings that are attached to it.
Right.
Now, bro, a lot of things were said in this back and forth with Kendrick and Drake. And a lot of reckless things I felt like were said. And I feel like that's probably why the results of how this battle happened the way that it did. And one of them involves Whitney, and I'm like, when the guy, that light skinned nigga didn't want to leave the other side.
Yeah, the guy. When
that guy started throwing out accusations and all kind of things, bro, the first thing I thought in my head was like, the family. As a man, as somebody who has a wife myself, I think about like, you can't just throw things out there like that. And it affects a lot of people.
Right.
What's your POV when you're seeing some of it? Because he was one of the first ones to fire off all of these different things. He mentioned her in the push-ups and all of this, in that song and all of that. How are you taking this as a hip-hop head who understands the landscape, but then also, too, is like, that's family you talking crazy about?
From a artist standpoint, and not being biased because I know Dot, and that's my family, but like artistically, I feel like oh boy didn't do his research on Dot. He didn't do his research on what type of caliber of fucking artist he really is, and this nigga really was a battle rapper before he became what he is. So I feel like he fucked with the wrong dude. Like, I kind of saw it wasn't gonna turn out too well for bro.
Right.
And I play my role, but at the same time, I did feel like, damn, bro really throwing shots at the fam, and everything he's saying is not fucking true at all. Like,
right.
But I played my role. I stayed back. I let Dot do his thing, which I knew he was,
right.
But like, I felt like, oh boy, he didn't do his research.
That's one of the things I said in the videos, and I think that's why people are gravitating towards the videos that I did, because I was like, y'all about to get a master class Because you know it from a point of view of 20 plus years. I know it from a point of view of less than that.
Yeah.
But being in that TDE environment where you talked about earlier, they place a focus on artist development. You see how they're doing with Doechii. There's no mystery why Doechii is taking off the way that she is right now.
Right.
But I remember them being in that environment, and it was built.
Them niggas can really rap over there.
It was built for war.
Yeah. Them niggas can really rap over
and
there.
This is years before we, the rest, everybody out here, we knew who this was, right?
Yeah.
This is when J-Rock was still the main focus, right? But we all knew every single person in here. Bro, I used to listen to TDE unreleased songs of them rapping as their favorite member of Wu-Tang and doing the shit accurately.
Right.
You need to pick that up?
No. You good. You good.
Picking it, like watching them do this because it is the sport. And then even when you're talking about, like folks like Punch, who's an elite lyricist himself, like these are the folks who are, the higher ups in this.
Right.
That is an environment that was built for them to be ready for whatever scenario.
Facts.
So when I seen this thing play out, I couldn't tell if that was bias or if that was just education, where I said,
yeah.
He don't know what he doing,
bro. It's like this. This is what I'm saying, man. Like all them niggas over there can rap, from Absol to Q to Kendrick to J-Rock to, bro. Everybody else. Like I'm saying, these niggas was brought up to. They gonna go toe to toe on a hit record or on some battle rap shit.
Right.
So my thing is, bro. Like you gotta a nigga like that. You really gotta do your research on. Like, bro. Like this nigga's a fucking monster in the booth, like.
Right. Another thing that I thought a lot of people are not talking about too, and I think you can give a lot of great insight on this. Bro's sense of humor.
He funny as fuck.
But see, you don't get that from some of the, if you're just joining after like, let's say after Section 80, if you're joining from To Pimp a Butterfly, there's a lot of like very serious topics that are being addressed. But there's moments where he's showing you like, I really see it with the Baby Keem collaborations.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, he's just allowed to like, he just let his hair down and they just having fun in there. But when I see those moments, I'm like, that to me shows me that a nigga's dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta think, bro, he a real 80s baby. Like the movies we watched in the 80s, the music we listened to.
Shows and more.
Like, niggas is built for certain shit, bro. So it's like, that goes back to what I'm saying. Niggas that are of the culture.
Hold on. You know that was coming.
You got, and like I said, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. You got a nigga that's in the culture that's not of the culture versus a nigga that's of the culture and that's really from Compton and really got love from his people, and you can't go against that, bro.
You just told the story about Leimert. To me, that knowing the individual that I came to know, you obviously know him a lot more better than I do, but that's not surprising. That's not surprising that somebody who is so ingrained in the culture, somebody who speaks about it, somebody who gives multiple perspectives of it.
Right.
Even in a moment where he could have made it about him, on Good Kid, Mad City, he's still bringing in voices that we all know. Like I'm listening and hearing Willie B's voice in the background. I'm listening to Il Camille, singing on.
Shout out to Il Camille.
Il Camille, you know what I mean? Girl, so like, this is somebody who, like you said, you cannot. You're not wearing culture as a uniform. Right. And when you're going against someone who does that, this leaves a large vulnerability. Man, so there's a few different directions I can go with this one. All right. Because I do want to have this conversation because I respect you as a hip hop head. I respect you as somebody who really knows this culture. Right. Where do you think the game had gone to where it needed this big of a shakeup? For the conversations to change again? Because I don't know if you feel that way. Do you feel like a lot of the conversations are changing right now? Yeah, but I feel like the way people are programmed to listen to music is so commercialized, and I feel like it's a smaller percentage of us that really understand the culture, and I feel like it's going to be a bigger group of people that are like, no matter what, he lost, because they don't understand. Like, they don't understand niggas like us. Like, bro, like, it like, we really. It blows my mind. Like, somebody can look at this and say that it's not indisputable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, like Doc can come to Leimert Park and fit in. Oh boy, can't do that.
No,
he can't do that.
Hell no.
He probably get robbed or some other shit over there. He can't do it.
Yeah, especially now. This is not a safe zone.
Yeah, it's not.
You can say some crazy shit.
But yeah, bro, like I said, you know, some people really not gonna understand this, but it's niggas that are in the culture and niggas of the culture. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. No, but I think that those are the conversations that are happening, and now people are starting to like putting in different directions and asking the question. The person that I've been giving all this time to as a listener, the person that I've been going to support shows, are they only here for the moment, bro? And I don't want to throw no names in there, like, 'cause this is just me. I'm just making sure I put that in our preface. This is not you bringing it up, but I did a reaction video to a video that somebody broke down about the sloppy rebranding of Post Malone, and these conversations are becoming more, not even just more prevalent, but they're becoming more popular to where people want to tune into these.
Right.
Bro, I watched that video and found myself getting angry and angry because someone best described it. They said the way that someone like himself came into the culture was almost like he came to the hood and he came to the house and he was playing video games with the roaches going all over the side and shit was cool. And then he went outside and the first white person he said, you know, they got roaches in there. It was crazy in there talking shit, but everything was good when you was in there eating mama's food up, when you was in here enjoying the environment. Right. But I feel like that's kind of how people look and view hip hop in a lot of ways, in that they come in, they throw on the jersey, they throw on the uniform, they wear the culture, and then they wear it out. And then they're able to go rebrand in another country genre and kind of do.
Bro, it's like this. Okay, it's people in hip hop that really take this shit like super serious.
Sure,
it's almost like a gang member that takes his gang so seriously because I done lost homies to this.
Yeah.
I didn't did so.
Right.
To use that comparison, like I say too. I would get offended. Somebody that used Leimert Park to capitalize off of the culture and the section and what comes with that name. But you didn't grow up over there. You didn't live on these blocks. You didn't go to these schools. You didn't go to Audubon. You didn't go to 42nd.
Right.
You didn't have niggas hop out the car with guns and shit and chase you to your auntie house. And shit. Like, bro, this is experiences that I lived and seen others go through. So yeah, bro, like people are passionate about the culture because they are of the culture. And you got people that's capitalizing off the shit that's not from that world, bro. Like, man, it's taught to them and it's, hey, say this like this and throw this bullshit on, and
that shit makes me hot, bro.
Nah, bro,
because it was literal side by side videos. You're making a valid point. Side by side videos where I'm watching, and I thought, and my general thought of the idea about this, and it's not about him, but when I first saw the first video, I was like, he's a likable guy. Like, he doesn't seem like he really means any harm. But by the end of that, I saw one video side by side where he's around, Quavo and all these different people, and he's talking like this, he's walking like this, his arms swinging like this. Then he get around to them old country boys, and all of a sudden it's like he's fitting a role. And to me, it's not just about him; it's a microcosm of a bigger issue that exists. And what you say, a lot of folks will come ravage and colonize the culture. And meanwhile, they have a whole fan base full of people, delusional people. Did any of that delusion find its way to your way? By the way, did they harass you at all? I feel like they wouldn't bother you.
Nah, they ain't nobody gonna fuck with me because ain't nobody gonna say shit to me. But I'm gonna say this, and I've always felt this way. Like, dude, music is cool, bro. I never fucked with Drake like that.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I probably got one of his albums in my Apple Music. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like,
wait, was it Nothing Was the Same?
It was his first album, I think, Thank Me Later. That shit was.
That's all I had, was Nothing Was the Same. That was only when he was rapping enough, and I was like, it's not for me.
And not to knock him,
sure,
bro. He has his audience. He makes his music and he do what he do. But like, I just see through certain shit, and it's just like, nah, bro. Like, I don't know. I just never really rock with dude. So even with the Dot shit, like, that's why I wasn't super vocal about it, because like, bro, like I never really fucked with dude in the beginning.
Right.
This just so happened to be my family and they going toe to toe. But I'll say that shit to anybody. Like I said, I don't hate the dude, but I just never fucked with him.
How was that experience? Like watching this play out, are you able to set? It seems like you're able to. I mean, based on the questions I asked before, you're able to separate some things. But it's like this is going to go down as one of the biggest battles of this culture that we have ever seen.
I'm happy that it was on wax. It was on wax because we come from we saw Biggie and Tupac pass away before us.
Sure did.
So, you know, all these other artists that have died from beefs and shit, like, God bless the dead, but like, bro, like, keep it on wax. You know what I'm saying? Like, but certain shit got a little too disrespectful, and I felt like, you know, oh boy shouldn't have said the shit that he said, but I guess that was his defense mechanism.
And bro, you know? that's and my audience knows, bro, like we done made tons of videos where it's not a matter of having to speculate. These are things that he's either said himself or that's been out there. And to me, this is where we have conversations in the culture that we should have been had, but maybe the timing wasn't right. That's why like I have such a great appreciation for what Dot did. Yeah. And that's why I made the content I made. And when he reached out, man, it was a good feeling. And when he was like, you know, one thing he told me, he was like, I said, I want to make sure that the people that are on my audience understand that this is bigger than just raps right now. This is a changing of the guard. Like this is a lot of things that's going on. And I said, and he said, yeah, it's spiritual. And that's something that I had to sit in silence with for a second. Yeah. Because then I realized, bro, the reaction that people had when he was dropping these songs, I've saw grown men, grown women crying after listening to Meet the Grams. Because it wasn't even so much about a daughter. It was so much about, to me, in my opinion, was the idea that this person is an avatar that represents a toxic person. Yeah. Whether it's a deadbeat dad, whether it's an uncle, whether it's whatever it is. And he painted that in a way. And then when I look at Not Like Us, bro, this shit feel like Childish Gambino or Donald Glover. It felt like he made this into ATL episode because I'm like, the places it's at, it's literally in political commercials. It's being played at the conventions. Yeah. What's kind of your perception of I guess the connection that it has to spirituality?
It definitely struck a chord because it shut him the fuck up. He bowed out. I mean, like, let's be real. He bowed out. He did. But the record did what it needed to do. Right. And Dot can move on. And he stood his ground like a man. And come on, bro. He carried, like, we got legends, but like from our generation, he carrying the coast still. Yeah. He's still like our leader of the hip hop world. So it's like he really had to do that for the West Coast. Yeah. Not just LA, but the West Coast, you know, because oh boy, colonizing different, like, come on, man. Fuck out of here.
Bro, I've been saying and I've been saying it, bro, because it was here's where light-skinned Spidey senses start kicking in. You might not call it that, I'm gonna call it that. You start laughing at me. Look, you know you've seen somebody that's like him.
Nigga, I done met a few niggas that's like that.
Right?
Nigga.
You done met so when you start seeing them do the antics and you start seeing them talk a certain way around certain people, but then they get around these folks and they start to kind of code switch and they get around this and it's like, oh, that's just your get down. Yeah. That's the kind of shit that I look at and I'm like,
this is what I always perceived about him, and I never met Drake ever. He always came off as a sneaky nigga to me. He always came off as a sneaky dude. Like you in the room with him and your girl. You go to the bathroom. He hollering. He one of them niggas. Hey, you know, dude, he not for you. He one of them niggas, bro. Like I feel I get that energy. So I just I never trusted the nigga. I mean, like I said, he do what he do, but he just always gave me sneaky nigga vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, and I think we started to see that in the reaction of people that circulated around him too, bro. I'm like looking at
and little sneak disses he did over the
bro,
years.
And
that's what I'm saying.
Even beyond the years, bro, the last few weeks, where I'm like, if I got my ass whooped the way he did, I'm gonna just say this for me. If you got my ass whooped the way that he did, there's not going to be an opportunity for you to say, could this be about Kendrick? Round two? Are we talking? No. I'm going to clarify everything from here on out. Because if I went through that kind of situation, which to me just feels like a stripping of the ego, it feels like a stripping of a hypnotization that I feel like his music has had upon people, a lowering of the bar to a certain degree, bro. There's so many, like there's so, I always make the argument, and I don't want to make this just about him. There's a lot of things I want to talk to about, but even the idea of, you know, rappers not wanting to rap anymore, I think you have to credit to a certain degree that when he came in and he expanded, obviously, the skill set that was expected of a rapper, I think a lot of rappers said, well, I can't compete with that unless I have the ability to do that, this, and that.
Right.
But then it made a lot of lyricists, I felt like they were out of place. And the one thing that I keep saying, it's funny because I had a lot of conversations with Daylight during this time, during the back and forth. And one of the things, shout out to Daylight, bro.
Yeah, that's
and I used to work at Quiznos with him, bro, back in Carson. That's my guy. But like during this time, we had a whole lot of conversations, and one of the things he kept saying is like, get your pen and pad ready, bro. He said the pendulum is about to swing again, and I feel like in a lot of ways, you know, first of all, for the West Coast, I'm seeing a lot of activity from artists that are from our era, our generation that are back up. But also too, man, it's just a reinvigoration around. Man, I'm looking at 15, 16-year-olds breaking down double entendres on TikTok. How the fuck did we get here?
But I feel like, too, you know, I feel like that shift did need to happen. Like, you know, it was a good battle. You know, things were said, but it was a lot of back and forth. And I feel like it's to a point where niggas need to really get their bars back up. Like, bro, like.
So what are we doing? What are we doing here?
If you ain't talking about shit, what you rapping for?
Yeah.
I mean,
but devil's advocate, there's a lot of young artists who are like, well, I'm not a rapper, I'm a rock star, I'm this, I'm that, and it's like, not even trying to throw this shot to anybody specifically, but I'm like that's the kind of thing where it's like rappers don't want to rap, they want to be singers.
Man,
a lot of singers don't want to sing, they want to be rappers. A lot of you got folks that call themselves journalists don't want to do journalism.
Hey, this what you just said, bro, that word has always pissed me off.
What is that?
Rappers referring to themselves as rock stars. No, nigga. Rock stars are rock stars. Hip hop artists are hip hop artists.
Right.
Aerosmith, Gene Simmons, Jimi
Rolling
Hendrix,
Stones and all of
Rolling Stones, those niggas were rock stars.
Right.
You have hip hop icons, hip hop artists. We do hip hop. That's, bro, like Prince was like a rock star in his own right.
But you know what, Prince, man, like the thing with him is that one, he came up in a different era where I think that when we talk about that rapper to rock star era, to me that was folks that were trying to figure out how to expand the culture, or how to cross over, I should say is a better word for that. How to cross over. And I think in that era of, you know, how do we expand what we're going on, a lot of people diluted their original message, which made them so unique. And then it got to a point where it was like, well, who the hell are you? Because now I can't hear home inside of you. There's a lot of artists now that come up that you don't know where they're from. You know the region that they're stealing their music from. They're doing Chicago drill, they're doing UK drill, whatever it is. But you can't figure out where these niggas is from. And you remember the Rap City. You a hip hop head, bro. You an artist. Bro. You remember the days when we sat there and watched Rap City, and you knew like, oh, that's what Milwaukee got. Oh, that's what Cincinnati got. That's what Florida got.
But you took the words out of my mouth. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I feel like there's so many artists that are playing this role of they from a place where they really not. Like, bro, if your art is dope, who the fuck care where you from? If you from Nebraska, but you a dope singer, you a dope rock artist, you a dope hip hop artist, just make the fucking music. Don't matter. you gotta be from, okay, oh shit, I gotta take up this Chicago road or this LA road or this New York, but I'm from Buck-2, can't, like, come on, man, like, just be your fucking self.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Real fans and people of the culture can know when you not really from that shit.
Man, hold on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, man. I'm here to talk about it.
Yeah. Not, but I think, honestly, bro, and I give so much credit to what's happened over the last few months, and I do give the credit to Dot, bro, because it's a lot of conversations that maybe it is a lot of people that don't need to be involved in the conversations, but
right.
I feel like the same way as a boiling pot of water, it's a process. Before it boils over, it's a process. You start seeing the bubbles, you start seeing the water kind of rise up. You see the steam, and then all of a sudden that shit is on top of the oven.
Right.
I think that's what's happening right now, is that there's a lot of people who are recognizing. And bro, I'll be honest with you, even myself, like in doing this YouTube space, when they try to give you media training, or you try to like use the example of media training from other people, that shit is vanilla, bro.
Yeah.
There's no other flavor. That shit is vanilla. Where everybody, like, you think about news anchors,
right?
They all talk the same.
Oh, it's like fucking robots. That's why I don't watch the fucking news, bro. I look at that shit on my phone. So, I look at the weather on my phone. I'm watching no fucking weather.
I don't need to hear Johnny Mountain. I don't need to hear shit from you. But homie of mine was saying, he was like, man, as we were working on this project, he was like, X-nay on the non-regional diction, because at the end of the day, like that is your story. That is who you are. No matter how cleaned up you want to try to, and I hate the idea of cleaning up, but I think now there's conversations that I even had with myself, bro. I sat in this room. I had food poisoning too. I couldn't go to the show, the pop-out show. I sat here and watched it on this very wall with the projector, and I'm just like,
that shit was a beautiful moment, bro.
And I know you. And I know you were there in person, man. Describe the experience that you had at that event. Especially, I'm sure you had mixed emotions, and that this is somebody that's still that's your dog. But then also too, like, this is a moment for West Coast. It's a moment for hip hop. All the above.
First off, the nigga did the show on Juneteenth. Okay, like let's start there. He did the show on Juneteenth,
right,
in Inglewood. It's so much energy in the building. Like, different hood. And bro, for the people that was in there, the energy was beautiful. Everybody got along. No fights. Just, bro, everybody was in there partying.
Yeah.
Every artist that came up there did they shit. Well, you saw it. You saw it. Like, the energy in there, bro, like, I say this to this day, I wish I can do that shit all over again.
Man, bro, I kid you not. I sat here the other day. I said, bro, I wish this was a movie I could watch again.
Bro, when Tommy the Clown came, like, come on, Tommy the Clown, come on, bro,
come on.
You know what Tommy the Clown mean us.
Of course. You know how many times I didn't went places where that wasn't the event I was going to.
Right.
I remember the first time I asked, who is this?
Yeah.
And they was like, hey, that's Tommy the Clown. You know Tommy the Clown? He coming down the street with the van, and it's a whole party on everybody on there dancing.
He used to have a 5.0 back in the day, bro. He used to pull up to Audubon with the 5.0.
Man.
With the 12s in the shit in the trunk.
Right.
Get out the car doing this shit. Like, bro, that's culture. That's of the culture. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to this time and time again. It's of the culture,
bro. Then you know how. Like, I'm glad that you were there in person, because bro, they would have pissed you off on the internet. Because I'm looking at these, like, I don't know why Twitter, they do that to make me pissed off. Why they put this perspective of some of the OVOers.
Oh, God.
And they had like, why is he bringing a clown out? It could see, this is the problem, you guys. And I'm looking at this shit, and I'm like, you unseasoned chicken. You got no idea what the significance of all these people being up here. And it's crazy because, bro, I promise you, every single day they are looking for something,
bro.
About bro.
I see a lot of, them bots, them OVO, and like, bro, like it's really a lot of those people. They don't have no identity of their own. They're on the internet, and they just like, bro, first off, you don't know shit about what you talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know who this artist is. You don't, like, all you know is this one artist that you love so much. Like, you don't know shit about hip hop and the culture. Right. That's why I say all the time, you niggas are not of the culture. You can't never understand it. Yeah. Like, you can't tell me about fucking Jay Dilla, because you don't know shit about Jay Dilla. Like, come on, man.
What do you mean? I have his playlist, and I've listened to his music. I've listened to Donuts many a times. What do you mean, Fresh?
What did Wesley Snipes tell Woody Harrelson on White Man Can't Jump? See, you can't hear Jimmy. You can hear Jimmy, but you ain't.
I was in the car. Yeah.
You can't hear Jimmy.
You listen to Jimmy,
but you can't hear
Jimi Hendrix. Yeah.
You can't hear Jimmy.
Like, it's so frustrating too, and you know what I'm realizing too, when it's frustrating trying to explain that to somebody who just refuses to try to understand it. But then I realize I'm like, that's why gatekeeping exists. And that was another topic that you talked about earlier that you said you wanted to get into, because I think there's two ends of gatekeeping, and I didn't have this perspective until I got to this age. Yeah, because I remember there's a point in time where, dog, when I came up as a producer and I wanted to like have folks listen to my beats, niggas was like, are you using hardware? And I was like, no. They was like, we don't want to hear it. Using Fruity Loops, and it's like there was that. Yeah. So then there was kind of a gatekeeping from information. So that was one end of it. Even like coming up into the industry and wanting to get certain looks, and folks kind of little broing me to the side. Yeah. But then now I'm recognizing that some things are frustrating to explain because we shouldn't be explaining them to certain people to begin with.
Facts. No, I feel you. And the way I feel about it, bro, honestly, like, I done been gatekeeped. Get it out.
Gatekeeping, you got it.
Niggas and gatekeeped me so many times, bro, over the years, as being artist and manager and not DJ. I'm doing my shit, but like all that gatekeeping shit, bro, like, it's so many talented people out here that's struggling artistically and creatively, and they don't have an outlet because motherfuckers be
somebody's gatekeeping.
Yeah, like bro, like this is my thing, and that's always been my biggest thing as a person, not just being a creative, but like I'm always paying forward. Whether it's some advice or if I can put you in contact with somebody that I know that do something that I don't do that you might do, I'm gonna help you out. I don't want shit from you. Yeah. And I think that's the problem with gatekeeping. A lot of people, they want something for something, or it's like, bro, like at the end of the day, you paying it forward. You blessing somebody else. Your shit going, and that's the thing. You shouldn't bless somebody to receive it back. You should just do it out the kindness of your heart. Right. Especially if you're in a position that you know, like, okay, I can make some stuff happen for somebody. Like, that's just how I look at it. Right. And it's a lot of people that's low key gatekeeping, not just in music, fashion, film, and
sure.
That they're in these positions that they don't know shit about nothing. Yeah. Bro, like, okay, so certain A&Rs, it's A&Rs in the industry. It's a lot of A&Rs that don't know shit about hip hop, R&B, don't know samples. Right. They don't know nothing, but they're in this position to make something happen for this artist, bro. But at the end of the day, like, why are you really here if you don't know what the hell you doing?
Don't got a passion for it.
You don't got really a passion.
Don't have a purpose to be here outside of this is just a cool job in music.
It's a cool job in music, but like, I've ran into people that they've helped me in certain situations. Like I can honestly say that, but like, and it's some natural haters out there. It's just like, nah, he too fly. He this, he that. He gonna overshadow me. Like, nigga, I don't give a, bro, I'm me. I don't care about what you got going on. At the end of the day,
I didn't come here for your position. Like, I came here for mine.
I'm tunnel vision, bro. I'm not looking over here. I'm not looking over here. Like, so at the end of the day, what I started to do, bro, I was like, you know what? Certain motherfuckers don't want to help, and it's cool. I still love. I'm gonna create my own opportunities.
Hold on, come on. You know that's the whole mantra here.
I'm gonna create my own opportunities.
You gotta create your own opportunities
because nobody is gonna stop me from getting to where I want to be in life.
And you, okay, what's interesting, and I think this is like the elephant in the room is that you know, even it's crazy when I looked at that first interview that you had with Homegrown. I don't even think you brought up Dot as having any kind of relationship. Like I've never really seen you lean on that.
I never used Dot as
I've never seen you do that, right? Nah. Even like I'm barely finding out what the real connection is because my interest with you was the fact that we genuinely built on some solid terms. Yeah. So even at this stature, bro, like I think it may be surprising to people to hear because even if it's not out of respect for what it is that you do, out of fear of what that could be for them if they want to work with Dot or whatever. Right. How does that happen still to where people are doing the gatekeeping and not worried about the repercussions that come along with it?
like, bro, it's different now, man. Like, people can give you a look and can do this, that, and the third, but at the end of the day, Dot has taken me to New York with him, and I've been in a studio session with Terrace Martin and Boy Wonder and all these other artists, bro. Like, I've been around, and he's given me guidance on how to do certain things, and like, just being around, bro, and soaking up the game, that was enough for me.
Yeah.
You know, like, if I can get in and learn this, that, and the third, like, I can just throw me out of you. I'm gonna run with the rock.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, I don't gotta name drop. Like, that nigga really my family, bro. Like, I don't gotta see this nigga on Thanksgiving and shit like that. I don't gotta do that. But
yeah,
I'm my own man, and if nigga want to give me a look, bro, I appreciate it. Like, I'm gonna forever appreciate him for certain things he's done or put me in a position to do.
Yeah,
you know, like, he's done enough.
That's our generation too. I think a lot of times, bro. Like
I need to have to.
As men, we want to work for the things that we want to get to.
Right.
No shame in that. And I think this next one coming up.
Yeah.
I shouldn't speak for all of them, but it seems like a lot of them, based upon a lot of folks that I mentor, they want to kind of gamify their success. They think like, you know, my mind was blown. You know, I'm not a gamer like that. My mind was blown that you could use real American dollars to buy VC coins on 2K to improve your player. Like, we used to get on NBA Live, you can make a player 99 for free.
Bro, I haven't. My son is a gamer. I haven't, like, bro, I haven't really been a gamer in so long. I'm still just music driven. Like,
yeah,
I play with my son every once in a while, but like, that's his world now.
But what I'm saying is that because of that idea that dog, we came up on the Super Mario. You can't cheat code your way through that.
Hell no.
You gotta play that 2
all
dimension
night to get to the third stage, probably for 5 hours. Like,
as Bowser keep kicking your ass. Like, it's the same thing with them. They're able to find ways to get past it, and I think that gaming is so important to the development of your patience. It's the development of your resilience. And I feel like when they're able to customize anything that they want, change the skill set of without having to earn it, that finds its way to school. That finds its way to their interactions online, to where I think a lot of people are skipping steps even within the culture. Even within hip hop, bro. Like, I'm listening to folks who are like, they have the ability to merely mimic their favorite rapper.
Right.
But the idea of them sitting up to write all night on a verse, the idea of them having to rewrite a verse sounds absolutely insane.
Bro, think about this. All these artists that sounded like, think of every artist back in the day. When we were coming up, you had the Scarfaces, you had the Tupacs, you had the Master P's, you had the Raz Casses, you had the Corrupts. Every artist was their own individual, bro.
Yes.
Nobody sounded like anybody.
It was an insult.
And this is the fuck I'm talking about. Like,
you got called out for that.
You knew what that art, that's Tretch from Naughty by Nature, because you knew that was Tretch. It's only one Tretch. This is this is what I'm saying. Every artist was their own man and woman. Now it's really like an assembly line. Like, niggas is being built the same, and you know, if that's gonna ruffle some feathers, it is what it is. But nigga, none of you niggas is original.
These niggas know who they doing. They know who the hell he is. They know
nothing
exactly.
original. And I'm gonna say this too. This is pissing me off because I love 90s R&B. A lot of y'all niggas out here remaking these songs with these 90s samples, and they sound fucking trash. They sound trash. I'm sorry. They sound trash.
This time, don't be sorry. Go ahead and just stand really, on that. Because they do it. Because how many times we gonna run the same play,
bro,
and expect a different result?
It's a few of the joints that I really fuck with because I DJ. The joint Bryson Tiller and Lola Brooke.
Yeah.
They remade the Foxy Brown Gotta Get You Home. That was cool. That was solid. But a lot of this shit that they remaking, bro, like, I'm tired of it. Like, let's get back to the originality of being artists. Come up with some new shit. Like, we gotta stop, man.
Well, you know, well then that's also why I continue to be a toxic friend and continue. I know you're doing amazing things right now for the artists that you work with. I know that you're doing amazing things as a DJ. That's why I continue to be a toxic friend and tell you to come back to rap. niggas need you out here, bro. Like it's not like, bro, like shout out to my guy C Nice, man. Like I'm seeing a lot of names that when I first got into this and I started to like see other professionals, they're finding their way back to this and they're doing it at a high level, man. I'm seeing like my homie, Willie B. Ichiban. I'm watching him.
Oh yeah, Willie B is a beast, space, bro.
But like
his beat's always been crazy.
But see, I'm seeing him get into his artistry with the same, vitality and excitement. And I remember meeting him at the Cellar in Long Beach.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was at an early Dot show when he had a bitch, I do this. And I remember going to that show and Willie B was like, oh yeah, Curtis, I fuck with you, bro. Like I fuck with your Sneak at Night project. And this is 2009 or whatever.
Yeah.
But that time period, bro, like it's dope to see those brothers as well as yourself find ways in this new space of social media, in a space where it feels like so much shit is so fake now.
Yeah.
And that's getting celebrated. Tyler, the Creator, said something I thought was really good, in that the artists that are coming up pretty much as meme rappers. You ever heard of that term?
He said, bro, I saw that. He dropped, this is the thing that pissed me off with the way the world is.
Yeah.
He dropped so many jewels, bro, and I always fucked with Tyler because he's always been himself.
Right.
He didn't give a fuck what nobody thought. He's always been this unique individual that did what he wanted to do.
Facts.
People chewed him out because he said some real shit. And I totally 100% agree with him.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything wrong.
Because he's saying the music he said the people who aren't musicians are getting celebrated like musicians, and they have no desire to become a musician.
You know what it is too? A lot of people don't like to be challenged. People don't like to be, you know what? I'm about to challenge the fuck out of you to be 100% what you can be potentially. People don't like to be challenged.
That's why I go back to the whole Gamify.
Yeah.
The whole Gamify theory that I have is that the games won't even force them to do it no more. It used to be a time where it's like, if you want to see what that end credit looks like, you got to beat the game.
Bruh.
Now?
You had to get to the big boss.
Bro, I'll go watch it on YouTube.
You had to get to the big boss.
You got to get to the big boss. Exactly. Yeah. Now I go on YouTube and watch somebody else do it and don't have to even pick the game up. So I think now, at the risk of sounding like an old head when I say that, I think now that is what people are figuring out is the limitation and what they want to actually achieve. Anytime they ask the question, why can't music sound the way that it did at a certain period of time? All I can think about is you're not fighting nearly the same amount of obstacles. And don't get it twisted. There's a lot of different things out here. There's AI. There's a lot of things out here that I think could potentially be argued to be more difficult, but the things that are really difficult, like your ability to articulate yourself in front of other people, the ability to sell yourself, these are skills that are like they're not being focused on anymore.
I agree.
That's why you got artists that come up and it's like you're missing. It's like a nigga getting in the NBA and saying I don't dribble. What you mean you don't dribble?
No, I just score.
I'm
what?
That's, tight shit. All I do, I just kind of like, I only shoot threes like Hurry.
You think no, you don't. You gotta tell me, no, you don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Because even as a Robin had to do more than just rebound. We're not. That's not what we're doing there.
Stop it. So much fucking delusion out here.
It is, bro. So
sick of it.
Bro, and I am too. This is what drives me in my art now, because I'm like, I shouldn't say it drives it, but this is something that I feel a responsibility to, because I realize even our conversation is going to be a very uncommon thing to somebody out here who listens to this and they're like, man, I thought I was crazy feeling like this. No, you're not. And it's like we all have groups of people that we talk to this on a regular basis.
The creatives, I think all the creatives feel this way. The people that just, their mind is programmed to just listen to like, nah, bro, we feel a way because we are creative people. Yeah. And we know how shit should sound, and we talked about this earlier. Right. We hear sounds differently, and we see colors differently. Like it's not the same shit, bro. Like me and you might hear Jay Dilla beat, and it sounds totally different to us than to the next person. Yeah. You know, it's amplified differently, and it's beautiful. Like niggas don't, niggas be like, nigga, you weird. What you mean that Jay Dilla beat is beautiful? Nigga, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. It's beautiful music.
It's a beat.
A lot of music ain't beautiful to me right now, bro. I'm just being honest,
bro.
It's nasty work.
It's nasty work, and it's also too clean. The emphasis has been on so clean that they clean the soul out of it.
You know what makes me mad as a DJ? I want to play a lot of the new shit. I mean, unless it's Ratchet, Sexy Red, Megan Thee Stallion, you know, they do their shit. But a lot of this new music, you really can't party to, bro. You can't really party to. I mean, niggas talking about ops and shooting up the block. You can't. I don't want to fucking party to that. I want to dance with no chick to nigga talking about nah shooting up the op. No, bro, I'm not. I'm not grinding on no chick.
Low frequency.
The fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like so me digging it to go back into my playlist. Like, damn, I gotta play some QUIK, or I gotta play this. Like, shout out to DJ QUIK, but like, I'm gonna play the shit that I know people gonna party to. But I want to play a lot of the new shit, but you can't really party to it.
This quote from my guy from Reggaeology, he said, the music industry is oversaturated because there are more hobbyists in the business than aspiring artists. How you feel about that?
I can't agree with you more, bro. That's some real shit. I feel the same way. Like, it really is a hobby to a lot of people. It's not about the art no more. Like,
which is insane, bro.
To me, it's still about the art.
I didn't anticipate that, bro. I'll be honest, like I'm having a real moment with you in that when I first came into music, I thought everybody loved this shit.
You know, remember Denzel in Glory when he had that single tear?
Yeah.
That's how I be feeling when I listen to a lot of shit.
Remember the Native American in that 90s commercial with the single tear? I feel the same. I feel the same way, bro.
I be having a lot of Denzel Glory moments, bro.
Like, but you want to talk about moments like that I think how I felt after everything that has transpired. I felt like Will Smith in Pursuit of Happiness when he got that promotion at the end, and he did the fist pump, and I started looking around and I was like, there may be a potential for the real to excel, for the real to prevail,
right?
Because of the bar that has been set.
Nah, I feel the same way. Like, I think it might not be, and we might be 50-50.
Sure.
We can possibly get back to the way it used to be if, I don't know, bro.
You at that place now. You at that place, man, you don't know.
It's like,
and that's an honest answer. I respect it.
It's like this, bro. When I was a young man, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be, you know, mature. I ain't gonna say when I was a young nigga, but you know, like when I was young, bro, like I grew up on oldies and all that shit. I used to love listening to that shit, but I still listen to what we was growing up on, like our, you know, the Nellies and the Eminems and all this shit. Jay-Z's like, but I always, when I was in the car with my elders, they playing that old school, I wasn't like, man, y'all old, turn that shit off. I feel like the generation now, they don't. The reason they can't make that good quality music because they don't respect what the fuck was done before them. But also too, what confuses me, y'all want to sample all these soul samples and shit, and y'all don't fucking know where it came from because y'all like, oh, that's old head music. No, nigga, you're sampling old head music and putting 808s and all that shit on it. You sound stupid as fuck.
It's like saying, no, I don't cook with seasoned salt. I don't like the seasoned salt. But you find a way to put it into your recipe. You're like, oh, I don't like that. I don't. But you're literally adding it to the recipe. Well, I think a lot of it too, man. You know, I've been on the head of streaming within the last X amount of months. Really since the whole thing came together. But over the last, I say 8 months when I took my music off of streaming, bro, I've been really having a conversation of how much do we put the blame on the way that the payouts are distributed, the way that the money is, the way that music seems to be devalued in the eyes of the consumer because of streaming. And I got to really thinking about it. I'm like, man, maybe that's why a lot of these artists feel the need to not make expensive sounding music. Maybe that's why they get in this disposable bag, because when you got the CEO of Spotify saying artists that make albums that take time are not going to do well on our platform. He said that straight up in an interview, which is crazy.
Wow.
Him saying things along the lines of, you know, with the cost of content being close to zero, first of all, it's delusional, but it's also referring to music being the cost of zero, because if you say we could do it from home, when you got folks like that who are in power of the tech that distributes the music to the majority of the people, at some point it's got to have a domino effect. So I wonder how much of that is just the circumstances because of the way streaming has laid everything out.
You know what though? The crazy part is, back in the day, so when people were still selling records and albums and shit, a certain, unless you was a Michael Jackson or probably Whitney Houston, you was probably getting like $2, $2.50 a album. So when you was selling millions, so that equates to a lot of money,
a whole lot of money. Yeah,
but you got to think the label, they were paying for you to shoot your video, marketing, promotion, artwork, touring, promo runs. There was a lot of money being put into your album being made. So for one, it was way more money to make an album back then.
Right.
Now it don't really take much, because for one, you can throw the shit on the internet. The label can upload your album.
Man,
you don't have to worry about, oh, we got the record store taking a cut of the album.
Right.
So in hindsight, artists should be making way more money off their music, because it's really it's not a lot of risk involved anymore.
Right.
It's not like the old days.
How not as much overhead, because you're not
exactly
like print. If you didn't go to print, you weren't irrelevant. You were irrelevant. If you weren't able to get on late night TV, you were relevant. But now it's like, if you got like, bro, I never forget when Nip did the $100 album. I always talk about this.
Man,
I was in study mode, bro.
Yeah.
And I never forget some of these numbers that I saw. And I was like, let's just say that the $100 album that he sold, let's just say we use Twitter as an example.
Right.
Bro only had, at that time,
I think it was like 1,000 copies, some shit like that.
He sold that, but he only had 176,000 followers at the time.
Damn.
I remember watching that, right?
Damn.
And I was looking, I'm like, damn, that's like less than 1% of the people who have made that investment.
Yep.
I saw that and I said, he just gave us a major lob. He just gave us a major gem right now, because he basically is giving us the idea of who the most important person in our fan base is, which is the super fan.
Right.
Now, obviously, that would get to go on to be branded by like Ryan Leslie and folks who figured that out, Patreon and whatnot. But I do feel like he was ahead of the game because of that.
Yeah.
And that now people are starting to recognize what he was getting crucified for. People forget that, and I know you remember that period, bro. Where like the internet was like, bro, they was making lists about how how he was like one of the most disappointing artists coming up, and all kind of crazy shit they were saying.
I think Jay-Z bought like 10 copies of the.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Like rest in peace, Ned, man. That's the thing too, and a lot of motherfuckers that's really like, man, he just nah, bro, you was calling him crazy.
Yes, I remember
before
that.
You knew how much of an innovator he was. But when he was saying cut out the middleman, y'all like, he ain't gonna make no money with no label behind him. Nip said, fuck the label. I'm going straight to consumer.
Right.
I got a store with merch in it. I can go do shows, take my own merch.
Right.
Like, I got a website. I got this. Like, bro, he was way ahead of his time.
Yeah. He said something I thought was so brilliant about streaming when they asked him how he was going to combat it. He said, I have to create experiences that people can't stream. When he said that, that's what gave life to the idea of, and I hate the fact that it's more of a valuable experience now, because I feel like he should still be here. But the idea that some people went to go see some of the final mixes of Victory Lap, because those who bought it, they got a ticket in order. Some people had special tickets because they paid this amount. But I look at that and I'm like, those are experiences that you can't stream. And I feel like now we're met with the same crossroads of, as an artist today, you have to create experiences that people can stream, whether it's live stream but you also have to figure out, and I think that's where the significance of culture comes in, is that there are certain, that energy you talk about in the building at the pop out is something that no matter how many times you tell the story, nobody will know unless they were in there. And even people who are in there can't experience it because they don't have any context. They don't know like this part of the history of the West. They don't know about like this, seeing an artist come from these different places, being an artist yourself. So I feel like you know, maybe I'm being too much of an optimist, but I really feel like we're on the cusp of a renaissance. I feel like we're on the cusp of a renaissance, and things are being asked of us. The idea came to mind that I was waiting for one of my favorite rappers, 3 Stacks, to do what I should have been doing myself. It's one of my heroes coming up.
And you know, people, I love Stacks too, man. People really was pissed he did that Flute album.
Yeah,
the man, look, listen.
I ain't gonna lie to you. You about to say something crazy, but I was pissed too. But go ahead.
Three Stacks, and I listened to the Flute album, bro. Like, yeah, you can't make me hate it because I love jazz. I love acoustic music. I fucks with it. But that's 3 Stacks.
He wouldn't be 3 Stacks if he didn't do that.
Fucking 3. You can't get mad at this man.
Yeah.
He didn't gave you bars. He didn't gave you Outkast albums. Like, bro, it's nothing left for this man to do.
I mean, he could do an album.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this, bro.
You know what I'm saying, like, he just give me an EP. Give me a 5-song beige EP. I'm good.
I think in this landscape of music, the times we're in,
sure,
we're not grateful for.
We don't deserve it.
We don't deserve a 130,000 album.
You're right.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe me and you and a host of others like us, but like
I'm gonna even say,
the world won't appreciate it.
You being very cool about it, but I'm like, I don't think I deserved it because the way I was talking when that Flute album dropped, Daylight hit me up and was like, he's like, bro, I'm telling you right now, the world is chaotic. He was like, what he did was shift the energy a little bit.
He's right.
And I was like, I found myself listening to it when I was going to sleep, and I was like, I was a deep sleep that I had. No disrespect to the project when I say that, but like, he's creating if what he was doing in rap was, I'm going to give the people what I think they need, why would he do anything different when he has a flute in his hand?
Facts.
It's still 3 Stacks. It's still rebelling against what you want him to do.
But for the last how many years, when you see random pictures of him, what is he doing?
He's always got his flute.
His fucking flute in his hand. So how can you, it ain't like, oh man, when the fuck he pick a flute up? Like, bro, he's been playing his flute in front of y'all randomly. You might catch him. He's not trying to get attention. He just like, bro, come on.
But you know, some of the criticism I think was warranted in that, and he kind of cleared it up too. But I don't know if you caught wind of that when he was kind of saying, you know, what do I rap about at this age? And he was talking about, like, you know, getting a colonoscopy. And I think there was a lot of artists that either felt offended or felt activated. Like, I think LL was one of those who was like, that's my man's, but like, what the F are you talking about? Like, there's so many stories, and especially at 3 Stacks. I know he meets people on a regular basis where I know that man got stories for years from the experiences he has.
But think about this. How many Outkast albums have we listened to? Bro, we're in our late 30s, and we're still deciphering Andre 3000 lyrics from 98.
True.
We go back and like, damn, that's what he was saying. Like, bro, his bars is so out of this world. They was ahead of his time.
Right.
So I mean, I'm content if he don't give us an album, I'm okay with it.
So you're okay with that?
I'm okay with it.
What do you think of that idea of? Because I think now we have a lot more rappers that are aging gracefully, and they're figuring out in this space how to do that in a way where the older rappers are not trying to keep up with the young ones, but they're figuring out, like, this is my position, this is my authority.
Just do what work for you.
Right.
I mean, LL just came back from how many years of hiatus? Right. So my thing is, it's people that's been rocking with LL since he came out. I'm sure he still has a lot of those fans and that. Like, do what work for you, bro.
Right.
LL don't got to cater to the 18 to the 25-year-olds. He don't got to do that. He LL Cool J,
LL Cool J. But it's crazy even hearing him say, bro, he's like, I had to teach myself how to rap again.
I remember he said that.
That's crazy.
That shit is crazy.
You're you, but
I feel like when you said I should do another album, I really would have to, like, I know it's still in me, but like, bro, I gotta really like sit down with a pen and pad and learn this shit again. Like,
you say that, but then you still DJ. You ain't got away from it. Like, I know you didn't heard something. You was like, I probably would do this. You can't turn that off. How do you turn that off?
You know what, dog? Like, it's crazy because one of my, and this dude is still up and coming, one of my favorite artists that I'm listening to, he ain't from California. He from the East Coast. He from the DMV. Primo Rice, bro.
Primo Rice, okay.
Primo Rice. Okay. He talked that player pimp shit, but his music is so melodic because he rapping over that. Oh, he like an East Coast version of Larry June.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's certain artists like that be like, damn, bro, like, bro really got his own sound. He ain't trying to be like nobody. Like, I'm about to, damn, I need to get back in there. Like it's certain artists that's not even on the scope of everybody else that's like giving me inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, project you just dropped, bro, like you give me inspiration.
I appreciate
but I have to find, I gotta find that time to sit down, bro. My life is so chaotic right now.
Yeah.
Not chaotic, it's beautiful chaos, but
right.
I got so much shit going on.
See, that it's funny. People always ask the question, how do you find the harmony? And man, you know, first of all, round of applause. We appreciate your time today, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a lot of different topics we touched on.
Bro, we had a really good run right now.
We do, man.
Yeah.
We can't make this. We got to do this again. We gotta, sure. Especially we gotta have the artists come up here too. But one thing I was gonna say, man, is that what was the point that I was gonna get to? What was I gonna say? We were talking about forget it. I'll skip it. That's the Bel Air. All right. So
the rose.
That's the rose. Shout out to the rose. Taking all my memory from me. Nah, bro. I think we're in a very, very special time in that there are people who are asking questions to whatever the norm has been before, and rightfully so. And we're asking questions even amongst ourselves about what do we exist in this landscape. I just think that it's a beautiful thing that we have the option. Because when I think about 2020 and I think about all this shit being shut down and the feelings that I had, especially as man of the house in my household, and
bro, that was a crazy time.
How can I sit there and tell my wife everything gonna be all right? And I never been through this before.
We didn't know shit,
bro. And then looking at the news and them seeing, like, I mean, not to be graphic, but seeing videos of bodies on top of bodies and the hospitals. I'm like,
but you know, the media, they try to instill fear in us.
Oh, for sure, to
increase that revenue stream in the world. But that's another topic for another day. But anyway, but no, yeah, you right, bro. Like, by all means, you're right. Like, I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
but nah, man. You know, it's crazy. Like you said earlier, I wear all these hats, and honestly, I don't even think I have titles. I just love being creative. Whether it's if I rap again, if I managing my artist, Black Boy, I'm working with him in the studio. Whether I'm DJing, I just love creating.
Yeah.
But somebody asked me this a long time ago. Somebody said, "What fuels your inspiration to be creative?" And it's very nostalgic. My answer is going to be very nostalgic. And you probably noticed this too, bro. I'm stuck in the '90s.
Yeah, same.
No matter how old I get, it's that '90s everything, bro. Like my fondest memories of life and fashion and my happiest times, like came from the '90s.
Right.
Not just the music, but I'm always stuck there. So that drives my creativity in the artists that came in the '90s, and that's why I go back to all these records from the '90s, bro. R&B, hip hop, like I'm just stuck there. But that keeps especially in this landscape of music we in now, like I might listen to some new shit. I'm like, damn, bro, like I gave it a try.
I gave it a
try.
This is what y'all on right now? Okay.
I listened. Okay, so most of the time when I'm DJing, you know, I get the people what they want. I played a lot of the new shit.
Right.
But on the way from the DJ function, I'm gonna play some Mobb Deep. I'm gonna play some Lil Kim. I'm gonna play some Busta. Like, I'm gonna go back to the '90s, bro. Like, I'm gonna play Nas. Like, that puts me back into like, I'm whole again. Like,
what do you think they understood that this generation now should get a better understanding of?
Individuality. Because I don't like, I have a lot of hope and faith for the newer generation, but I don't see a lot of individuality in them, bro. Like, just like, not even the music. I'm just talking about like out in the world.
Yeah.
They dress the same. They talk the same. Like, bro, like when I was a teenager, you know, man, like, I don't want to dress like this nigga. I don't want to dress like him. I want to be like me. I want to.
That was the joy in showing up as you.
So I really feel like, I don't know if they're being raised not to be their own individual, but I don't see it, and I feel like that's going to play into the creativity of the world.
I got this theory, and this, you know, we can get my full head ready when I say this, but I feel like the powers that be want this homogenous type of society, so it's easier to control people.
That's deep.
I look at it and I'm like, it's so much easier to control all of, like, it's to the point where we came up in an era where the Dolores Tuckers existed to try to make sure that there was censorship in the music and all of this individuality. Like, no, we need to make sure that Uncle Luke is, we need to make sure this, Tupac, and I feel like they have figured out, the powers that be have figured out a way to make the people police themselves. When I started seeing, when I started seeing, like, and I keep bringing this up, but there was an era of what we gonna call this, of cancel politics, where they wanted to get rid of the Starbucks Christmas cups, right? Because of the colors were not. They wanted to get rid of it because they felt like it was offensive to people who didn't celebrate Christmas. And I started thinking, I was like, wow, that could have literally been a child who created that, or someone who has a child like mine. And now we're going to change policies at $1 billion company to. So when I started looking at that, crazy. I'm like, oh, instead of the powers that be getting rid of people, the people will do it for them now. Now they go with their pitchforks and say, look at this person standing out. How dare you have a difference of opinion? Which is funny because, and the last point I'll make is this, which is funny because we think about cancel culture. We think about, bro, it's so
sensitive.
Bro, think about this for a second. The idea of cancel culture says, I have a point of view that I feel is valuable, and I feel like you're invalidating by having a difference of opinion. Right. So in order for you to respect my difference of opinion, I need to get rid of your right to have a difference of opinion. That's wild.
Or I have to censor you forever.
Get you fired?
Yep. Get you removed, get whatever the fuck, so you can't ever challenge me again on what I said. Like it's really a,
what is this time period,
bro? Like we're living in, like, Def Comedy Jam couldn't have existed today. Oh because my God. And I love comedy, bro. Like I love comedians. I love stand up. Comedians can't even be comedians anymore.
They can't unless they got a position like Dave Chappelle where he just don't give a damn. Yeah, he gonna say what he gonna say.
Man, Chappelle don't give a fuck.
He don't.
but that's the thing. If you like, I love Dave Chappelle since day one. Like I watched all the stand. He's been that way though. Yeah. It wasn't just like, oh, he's just insensitive to people now. Let me take advantage of this. Yeah, bro. He been doing this shit since 97, 96. Like, come on, it's Chappelle, bro. But like, I don't know, man. Like, one thing I try to teach. I don't try. I do. My son is to the age where, be on, man. Don't follow nobody's lead but your parents. You know, have your own opinion, express yourself. Like, I want him to be his own man because I ain't gonna be here forever. Right. You know, like, it's okay to cry, it's okay to speak your mind. You know, try to respect people as much as you can, but stand your own ground, stand on your own too. Be a man. Like, it's okay, you know, but like, I'm trying to teach him every day individuality. Love that. You know, like my dad always told me, be a fucking leader. Don't be no follower. Yeah. You know, it worked out well for me.
Pops used to tell that woman, bro, I promise we gonna look at this. We're gonna look at this bloodline. Somehow we related. We cousins or something. I don't know what it is. But
bro, I wouldn't be surprised what we are.
Bro, none of that. Because Pops used to tell me, he said, son, what's the difference between a leader and a follower? And he said, I would have to repeat it back to him. He would say, I would say, a follower has to be, he said, a leader knows what to do. A follower has to be told what to do. And he's like, have a good day. And I go on about school.
You know how many times as a teenager and as a college student and shit, niggas was like, man, let's go. Come on, let's go. No, nigga, I don't want to. Yeah. What you mean you ain't? I said, no, I'm not going. Right. So first of all. Like that, and people that know me for years, like, oh yeah, like Fresh, like his yes is his yes, his no is his no. Like, I'm just my own man, bro. Yeah. And I got to really teach my little man to be the same way. Yeah. Because that's my legacy. Yeah. You know, I give respect. I'm going to get it too. Because you're going to respect my values and my morals and my opinions on life. You know? So like, that's just how I move, bro. Yeah. People going to love me. People going to hate me. I don't give a fuck. Hi.
Right. Bro, no, that
hi.
But that's how it should be. And I'm finding myself, those are the kind of like brotherhoods that I'm respecting more now than ever. Is I'm at a place in life where it's like, because of the type of stakes and the risks that I'm taking, even with being an artist at this stage, independently, there's no time for lying. There's no time for delaying the uncomfortable conversations. We need to have those, and we need to get to whatever. If it's not going to be a resolve today, cool. Let's get quicker to that place so that we can keep it moving. But I'm respecting the fact that I'm surrounded by people who are unafraid and not biting their tongue in the process.
But as homies, we friends, artists that work together, bro, we gotta hold each other accountable.
We don't.
Men gotta hold each other accountable. Women, as a whole, especially in our community, we don't. I think we'll be so much better if we just like, you know what? I'm gonna hold you accountable. It's only gonna make you better.
Right.
You know, like if we working in the studio, hey bro, that third verse you wrote, that shit could have been better. And it's up to you. Be like, you know what, my nigga, you right, bro. Like I could be better than that. I'm holding you accountable because I know your potential and you could be better. People don't get that.
It's a level of emotional IQ that
and maturity
that we have to. That has to be acknowledged, because there's a lot of conversations that I'm realizing, like, I could not have had those a year ago, 2 years ago, with folks, because they're not in a place to have those.
Right.
Even myself, bro, I have my beige rage moments.
Yeah, me too. Like
he said me too.
It was a point in time where nah, it's your fault. It's all your fault.
Nah, ain't no way.
I ain't taking blame for none of this shit. But you live and you learn. You know, and it makes you a better person.
Okay, man. First of all, one more time, one round of applause. I want to make sure that we shout out, obviously, the brand. We talk about a lot of things. I got one more Doc question, bro. I forgot to ask you this one. A lot of us been digging into these Easter eggs. You know the genius that's there. Do you ever look at some of these breakdowns of like, oh, what he meant in this? It remind me to remember the character on In Living Color when he was like, see, brother, what you must do is I promise you,
enlightenment
of the extraditus. Like, I look at some of this stuff and I'm like, I can see that. This one kind of, I don't know what this
bro,
one.
It's so funny because bro, Black Twitter, they will try to it's so many theories to all them bars. Like what? Like nigga, how do you know that's what he meant? Like niggas really sat there and was like, man, that shit was it's a coincidence. Like, bro,
but see, this is why your perspective is so valuable, because you know the man. You know you know 20 years is a long time.
Dot is just like me, you. He human, bro. He, like I said, he grew up on old school music. He grew up on cartoons and cereal. Like, bro, like he's human. So like a lot of his childhood and life plays into his music, bro. So like, bro is really clever with his words. So I'm like, I don't know, like the Twitter investigators, that shit had me dying, because I'm like, bro, people were really making their own theories up to all these bars.
Right.
Like, it sounds good, but like, nigga, you don't know what that man meant.
Right. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I even got a little bit deep in the rabbit hole, and I was like, okay, I gotta chill. Because there were people bringing back stuff like, no, what happened was this. You didn't see that it's a quadruple entendre that is bringing you. And I'm like, you know what? I think we went too deep down the rabbit hole.
Red fish, blue fish, green fish, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
Now, you said red fish. It kind of reminds me of Red Fox. Sanford and Son. Is there a son that he's missing? That is missing in the equation of Drake? Like, bro, it was so much of that stuff. It is still happening. Like, even like people that hit me now, and I'm like, bro, Not Like Us has been out for whatever X amount of months, and they still finding Easter eggs.
It came out in May. Like, come on, bro. Like,
or July, wasn't it? Wasn't it on 4th of July? It dropped?
That nigga dropped that shit on Cinco de Mayo. Petty, right? On Cinco de Mayo.
Wait. Talking about the song itself, right?
I'm
talking about the video. Okay,
the song itself dropped on Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, bro.
Why you say that's petty?
I mean, like, bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, of the culture, like, bro, like, think about it. Like, that's brilliant. That's right brilliant. Now. Like niggas turn up in LA on Cinco de Mayo. Yeah. There you go.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
There you go.
I was so invested in the battle itself that I forgot about all the other shit going on in.
And you know what's crazy? Nobody ever expected him to do nothing on a Mustard beat. That's another thing. Like,
man,
like
that's an unspoken genius in that, bro. But I want you to elaborate on that because I looked at that and I'm like, first of all, when we hear that in the city, there's already artists we associate with that. Right. There's summer times we associate with that.
YG, RJ, Roddy Ricch. Yeah.
So when you heard that and it's like, wait a minute, this is for a response to a diss song? Or it might be over with.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over with.
Yeah.
So when you hear it's like, oh no, it's done.
Yeah. Nah, man. I
So okay, quick questions here. We're gonna end this thing. You wanted to talk about this, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it as your favorite rappers of all time. And I hate this question, and I love this question at the same time.
My starting five has
Give me
not.
the question. I'll give you the answer. Sir.
My starting five has not changed. It won't. The fifth I usually swap out, but like I'm gonna tell you, Pac, Nasir Jones,
come on,
Jigga, Corrupt.
I knew that was coming up.
Razzcast.
Man, that's not a name I hear often in the top five, and it should be more top five.
Soul on Ice. I studied that album.
Yeah.
Top to bottom in college.
Yeah.
We had a professor, Professor Fluker, rest in peace. He, in his syllabus, in his class, he taught the song on one of his lessons, Nature of the Threat.
What school was this at?
Tuskegee.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. I wish I had that experience.
Bro, like you and I never took Fluker class, like rest in peace to him, but like everybody niggas was like, who the fuck is this Razzcast? But he broke down and he had his class read the lyrics to Nature of the Threat.
That's crazy.
And taught that, like, I swear to God, real true story.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would have graduated.
Bro,
that right there.
Nature of the Threat, man. That's a bro. The first time I heard that song, and I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
What was this? 2002. That's when I got put on the Razzcast. I knew who he was, but I never really listened to his music.
Yeah.
And the homie from LA was like, "Hey man, like you like hip hop? Like I'm gonna put you on to somebody." I'm like, "All right, bet." And I'm like, Razzcast. Like I remember hearing this nigga name back in the day. But I never heard his music.
Yeah.
And bro, he let me hear Soul on Ice first. We was driving back from LA from Texas. The whole ride, nigga. He played Soul on Ice. I'm like, damn, this shit dope as fuck. Play it again.
Yeah.
Because I had a Dodge Intrepid back then, so we had a CD player. So
oh man,
nigga, he had the burnt copy too.
One more time.
He had the burnt copy. So I'm like, fuck. I got another one of his albums. He had Rat Assassination. I said, what? I said, you got another? Play that one too.
Yeah.
Nigga, he played Rat Assassination. I was like, oh, this
got dover and dover.
I was like, and then I just learned, and I met Razzcast a few times, and I told him, bro, I was like, you one of my top 5 rappers.
Cool as hell too, right?
Cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Carson nigga, cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I got Carson homies. Yeah, I fuck with y'all, bro.
Yeah, look at me.
Yeah, I got Carson. I got some good niggas in Carson, man. You know what I'm saying? But no,
yeah.
So from time to time, I switch. Sometimes I switch out Razzcast and AZ.
AZ
is one of
that's
my
interesting.
He's to me, honestly, bro, like people looked at him as Nas' sidekick because like, you know, he was on Life's a Bitch and like niggas was like, who is this? But like, bro, that verse he kicked on Life's a Bitch is like probably one of the hardest verses in rap history.
One of the most classic
like
verses of all time.
top 10 in my book.
Yeah.
Visualizing the realness in my life when actuality fuckles the baddest in person status.
I don't care what hip hop venue. I don't care what hip hop show. I don't care what generation it has been evergreen. But yet, you bring up a good point is that it doesn't always get brought up when you're talking about best verses of all time.
It doesn't. He's probably one of the most underrated rappers.
Man.
And he from the East Coast. But like, I'm like, I feel like he always lived in Nas's shadow, which he tried to be his own artist. But like, bro, his work is just so slept on to me.
Yeah.
But I usually switch him and Raz out sometimes. But like, it'll be Pac, Nas, Big, Corrupt, Razzcast, and then AZ.
See, that's what I appreciate about you is that you gave us your list. You didn't give us a hip hop list. You didn't give us a safe political list. And I feel like it's funny because Tyler said something about this too. He was like, man, he feels like people's top 5 feels performative a lot of times. Yeah. Where folks are just saying the names that are like, oh, don't. Because one of my top 5 is E40.
E40, bro.
But when I had this conversation, folks were like, they're like, you can't put him because he's animated.
In a major way, niggas don't know about In a Major Way. Let's talk about the album.
Man, come on, bro. Like just his catalog in general.
Nah,
bro.
Facts.
Yeah,
facts. But like, nah, man, I don't give those political. Like, I mean, I got Jay in my top 5, but yeah, like his Reasonable Doubt and In My Lifetime Volume 1, those like my favorite Jay-Z albums. But
undeniable.
I mean, Big in my top 10, but I feel like people always like, why you ain't got Big in there? Bro, Biggie was dope as fuck, but like I feel like, and this is people gonna be like, why you say that? Biggie, bro, does not have a
catalog,
big body of work, bro. Nah. He wasn't a studio rat. Let's just be honest about it. He wasn't in studio all the time.
Right.
So when people trying to pit Biggie against Tupac, bro, like I'm gonna give it to Pac because Pac was a harder working artist. Yeah. Biggie gave us Ready to Die and Life After Death. Those are 2 iconic albums, but there's not enough body of work to go with the artist. Like I look at your body of work, I look at your presence, I look at your impact globally. Right. Fuck all that. Oh, nigga, he got just bars. Like, if we talking about Biggie and Tupac, Tupac is a bigger artist globally, bro. Like, yeah, he got murals in other countries, bro. Like, let's just be honest. And I'm tired of these political that you gotta give a political. No, I don't.
No, I don't know about it.
I love Biggie. Rest in peace, Biggie. But
it's your list.
It's my list.
It's your list.
And I broke it down from an artistic standpoint. Yeah. The fuck?
It shouldn't be no other. And that's funny because we're living in a time now where I feel like I almost went off on somebody today for some shit. You know, it's funny. I shout out to the homie THX. He was like, I ain't seen him in years. He was like, you still arguing with people on the internet? I was like, hey, bro, say, bro. I was like, say, bro. But today I almost went off. I was like, it was just the timing of it. Yeah. But he was going to tell me, I showed a young artist some love, and I put fire emojis on his page. And he was like, I don't actually think you think it's fire. I think that his production is mid and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, nigga, are you developing an opinion for me? But
sure opinion.
But once again, we're in that time period where even the opinions are homogenous. The music sounds the same. And how dare you try to sound different? Like everybody keeps saying they want something different, but they don't want to pay the price of what it means to be different.
Nah, facts. I go back to what I said. Individuality, bro, is so big. Like, and all those artists I named, Pac was different from Nas. Nas was different from Jay. Jay was different from Corrupt. Corrupt was different from Razzcat. Like, all these artists are iconic in their own right, and they had individuality.
What was it about Corrupt? This is my last question. What about Corrupt? Because I know when I hear that, I'm like, yes, bro, we need more of them conversations of Corrupt in top 5.
So what made Corrupt one of my favorite rappers, not just hearing him on The Chronic as a kid and Doggy Style, but my dad, the week of Halloween in '95, my dad brought the Dog Food album. That's how I remember. Like, I've owned 4 different copies of Dog Food myself. But I remember
all on CD.
I had 2 cassettes.
2 cassettes, okay.
Because I was going to Audubon when it came out. But my dad had picked me up from school on Halloween, bro, and he was playing the album. And my dad had a little swooped up Honda Accord back then, and like my friends was like, "Hey, what he playing?" It was, tell you the song. It was Cyclo, Nyclo, bitch ass nigga. So, and I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, cause remember New York had came out, so I remember that song. But like, bro, my dad never hid no music from me. Like, he let me hear it in its entirety. You gonna hear it in the streets, I'm gonna let you hear it. Bro, Corrupt was a monster on that album, and that made me a fan of Corrupt as a kid. So when Corruption came out, when he was a solo artist, that album was different.
Insane.
Corruption was crazy. The East Coast side, the West Coast side. Right. Then comes Streets is a Mother, which is my favorite Corrupt album of all time. Bro, his wordplay, like Corrupt wordplay, just different.
He never lost culture.
Never.
I don't care how lyrical he got. he still sound like a LA nigga. Like no matter what,
niggas forget he really from Philly, but he came to LA as a teenager.
But even then, he sounded like all those influence. But see, it when you paint it that way of coming from Philly to LA, not one lie is told when you hear the final product.
Bro, do you know his song Trilogy when he say in a brainstorm in the back of the bank busting loose like Muggsy, Typhoon, Corrupt, Calhoun? I'm like, bro, like how he put his fucking words together, like it's crazy, bro.
Right.
Hyperactive with automatic smacking the back. I'm like, bro, like
over the beats he choosing too, which is like the production he's choosing is just like, this is why.
And then he had Daz. Like, bro, like Corrupt. I'm always go advocate for Corrupt because I feel like niggas know that really know, but like the rest of the world, I feel like he don't get his flowers like that.
Yeah. Well, you know that there exists a West Coast bias in some of that too. But man, look, one more round of applause, bro. I appreciate you. There ain't no we. It's just me in this room right now. I appreciate you genuinely for man being so transparent about
facts.
all of this, bro. Because
I don't know if we broke the internet, but I said what had to be said.
You never know, bro. You never know, man. I just look. I put the content up. And I'm glad we have conversations. Go ahead.
Before we wrap up, I'm gonna give you your flowers because I watched you from when I met you as artist, producer.
Right.
Bro, like you really built your platform doing your own shit, and I'm proud of you, bro.
Oh, thank you, bro.
And that ain't no bias homie shit, but like I watched you really like on your come up, man. And I'm just proud to see you do it, bro.
I appreciate you. I genuinely
you really giving opportunity to people that don't have like their own platforms and shit to do their own thing. So
let me tell you what I appreciate the most about that is that I had sort of one of them inner dialogues, bro. Like after everything had happened with the Pop Out show, and I'm seeing all of these artists that are getting the light, and I'm like. I want to make sure that I keep this flame going. Like I want to make sure that I do my due diligence as somebody in this media space, but also as an artist myself. And I saw myself kind of still getting pushed off to the side. Like I didn't build the platform that I built. So when I saw that happen, man, it was one of them things where it was like, I started realizing something very slowly. And it came to a head when I had Lupe Fiasco on the platform.
Lupe,
kick push.
When
I had that brother on here, and people were literally sending me money to get him off.
What? Wait, whoa.
Oh, you didn't know about that? Yeah. So I was talking to him.
I don't mean to laugh at Lupe. No, he got bars.
This is I had the utmost respect, and I have the same energy that I would have. Literally, people saw it. Literally, if he was on a stream, I let him talk. But here's the thing that got me. Here I am talking to what I consider one of the most elite MCs of our era, and I thought that's what the people wanted, was just these major names of people who have, but that's what gets the views is not always what your people want. What my people want, at least what I believe that they want, is rich conversations with people who are living lives that are not detached.
And of the culture.
That's something that it keeps echoing.
I might get that shit on a t-shirt.
You need to, please.
Of the culture.
Just let me get the first
and Leimert Park on the back.
Shirt too. Let me get shirt too.
They don't even see I got 9,008 on this motherfucker.
Come on, man.
Bro, I'm a brand my neighborhood wherever I go, bro.
You've done that. You've done that consistently, but no, I really appreciate those words because I'm realizing like that is my space. I just talked to a gentleman named Old School Ice Gree. This dude has worked with Kanye for over 20 years, but the conversation we had was about him wanting to bring adult contemporary hip hop as an expansion of the award shows. And that conversation may not seem like a viral type of conversation, but bro, Ice-T came and left a comment on one of my pieces of content because of that being sparked up.
Damn.
Ninth Wonder chimed in and other few folks chimed in. So I'm looking at it and I'm realizing that the richness of because of the kind of culture that I'm building here and that I'm focusing on, man, it's why you and I can sit here and there's not anybody on here who's gonna bat an eye about why we had a 2-hour and 30-minute conversation because
you ain't seen that long. My wife been texting me, you still doing the interview?
Yeah, I feel bad.
You damn right. Yes. It's
look.
culture right now, baby. It's culture right now, baby. You know what I do.
See, you go so different. Let me tell my wife that. To my wife that. All of a sudden shit don't stop working. What happened to the Wi-Fi? No, I'm playing. But man, no, I not only appreciate you as a man and as a pops, as a husband, but also I appreciate you just always being a soldier of the culture, somebody who doesn't hesitate to give other people their roses. And man, I ain't never seen you talk crazy on nobody. I ain't never seen you flex on nobody. And even today, I feel like what you were talking about with old boy, it just felt like that's just a real perspective from a real individual who sees it. And it's like, if it's another way, show me it's another way.
I mean, you know, like I said, I walk with God, and I'm really from my community, so I can always go home. Yeah. Some niggas can't go home and can't go other places, but man, I have identity, and I ain't, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. Yeah. But what I want to do, I want to just say much respect, shout out to everybody in my community that's doing something positive, you know, whether they got a clothing brand, music, you know, they making content. Like, shout out to everybody in Leimert. Yeah. The younger generation, the older. And I do want to shout out my boy Trey, aka Cocky T. He has a black-owned skate shop in Leimert Park called Neighbors Skate Shop. So my boy doing big things. So if you're in the area, pull up. He got all kind of stuff in there.
Where's that located at?
It's on Degnan Boulevard.
Okay.
It's gonna say Neighbors Skate Shop. So yeah, pull up on my boy, man. So like I said, everybody in the neighborhood that's doing something, this for y'all.
Wait, I think I just followed it. I think I just followed that kind of.
He was Calmatic directed the video. The remember the Entrepreneur video with Pharrell and Jay-Z?
Yeah.
His skate shop was in the video.
Get out. Yeah. I just followed because I saw his story that popped up, and I was like, oh no, I'm following. This is black owned, and it's Leimert Park. It's easy.
Bro, Trey really doing a lot of shit. Like,
that's insane.
Yeah,
I just followed it too.
He's tapped in with a lot of people, and like I said, he a good dude. You know, like we around the same age, so it's like he's of the culture. Yeah. And he gives back to the community. You know what I'm saying? So
what a time to be alive, bro.
Yes, sir.
One more time, man. I'm here with Fresh.
Yeah.
DJ Fresco, Be Fresh. I didn't even abuse your rap name like that. Like I thought I was. I thought that Rose was gonna kick in. I was like, Be Fresh, man. And Be. Nah, man. We genuinely appreciate you. We look forward to having you back here. I definitely got to get a stream with you, do some reaction clips at some point because you know, it's a lot of nonsense going on out here.
Yeah.
But it's always dope to talk to another level-headed brother that makes me feel like I'm not crazy.
Thank you. Oh, and let me shout out my bro, the hat that I'm wearing. As long as I have music, you know what I'm saying. So the brand is new. Again, it's as long as I have music. I don't know if they can see the Cash Money.
Yeah. Turn. There you go. You good?
Cash Money logo. So basically, as long as I have music, is giving back. It's giving basically roses to the labels that shifted the culture.
Right.
The Cash Monies, the No Limits, the Death Row Records, the Griseldas, the Star Treks. Like, it's a lot of different stuff coming from the brand, but that's what started the brand. Just giving back to the labels that shifted the culture of music.
Yeah.
And hip hop.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, round of applause.
And you know I'm gonna have one for you too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, man. You know I'm gonna show support. You know that's what I'm gonna do, especially any opportunity that I have. I love doing that, bro. I love being able to, when people pop in and they be like, who was that?
Yeah.
Whose shirt is that?
Yeah.
Even throughout the whole back.
Oh yeah, I made this. I got this made to Sloss and Swami. That's culture, baby. You know
Come on, man. Come on, look.
The DJ Fresco 9008. This was my vision right here. So
come on.
You know I'm gonna take my neighborhood anywhere I go,
bro. I know I keep saying last question, but what this is my slick way of asking you what you got coming up next. But what are you most excited about that's coming up now?
Man, it's so much. I got to get back in the studio with America's Black Boy. We got to finish up his album, The Sage Theory 2. It's another project too we're kind of like simultaneously working on, but just getting back in the studio with him. man, just creating. You know, I haven't been in the studio in a minute. Been dealing with the family and traveling for work and all that. But you know, I got some DJ gigs coming up too, and we just had our backyard boogie, and it was cracking. I know you couldn't pull up, but
bro,
next one you definitely got to be there.
I need to, and I was so mad when I seen them. But no, this project.
It's all good, and congratulations again.
Thank you. But
Beige EP out now.
Come on, these bags under my eyes is not no joke, bro. I've been driving. I ain't drove back to LA like this since this little boy was born, my boy. Like, I've been driving out there. This little boy got born. I have not been to LA this much in my life, bro, for studio sessions. We just went out there recently to Long Beach for did a video shoot with the homie PB. You know, man, we did a whole lot of stuff for this project, but it was one of them weekends where my wife was like, damn, I can't remember the last time I had a weekend.
Damn.
I was like,
oh yeah.
So on Saturday, you know what I'm saying, homie BeFre want me to pull up, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I said, I said, bro, I'll be sleeping on these leather couches if I do that.
I told the homie TJ, I was like, man, you know, Kirk gonna pull up, man. Kirk gonna pull up. He's like, yeah, okay, for sure, man. Quiz was there, you know.
Man,
Graham,
shout out Quiz. He just hit me up.
Shout out to Quiz, Graham, my boy TJ, the B District. My homies doing their thing too, man. It's, bro, we surrounded by so many dudes that's creative, and it's like, how connected we are is crazy.
My homie Epic said this one time, and I end on this note. He said, do you realize how not normal this shit is? And that there's some people who go their entire lives, and the only time they meet somebody of a fraction of the talent that you just mentioned right now is when they come to tour to their city, if they ever tour in their city. There's some people who exist in a place where it's like, I don't remember many tour dates in South Dakota.
Bro, it's
not normal. This is not normal.
It's not. So, and this too, shout out to Layla Hathaway. That's my family too. Like, she's best friends with my wife's aunt, bro. Like, that's Layla's family, bro. Like, so I'm surrounded by so many creatives. It just don't fucking make no sense. And it's like, how can my creativity not be driven? Me being around all these people. Me being close to you, bro. Like, I gotta do this shit. If I don't, it's blasphemy.
Well, I mean, and are you just gonna continue to be like softly harassed into rapping again? That's all that is. Don't worry about that. That's all that is.
You gonna do some beats for me?
If you start rapping, you think I won't? You think? Wait.
I need a Curtis King beat for sure.
I know that wasn't a real question. I know that wasn't a real question. What?
I might fuck around and do an EP produced solely by Curtis King. Let's talk about it. That's for another conversation though. But
hey, man, I'm retiring and shit, and then you come around, and I like, look, between you and I got it's a group called The Ones. When I used to record in Inglewood, this is way back before Tay Beats was with TDE, when Tay Beats was my CEO for a label called Rockstar ENT.
I heard of them. I remember them. Yeah,
I was part of Rockstar ENT.
Damn, that's crazy.
So I came in towards the end, but the homie J.O. was an artist that was there. The homie Jago was another artist there.
I heard of Jago.
Jago, okay. But The Ones was this group that just sounded like Young Guns, but like super LA.
I think I fucking remember them, bro. I think
because this is like Jado at this time was coming through the same studio.
Was this like what 2008, 2009 around that time? Yeah. I think I do, because that's when I first got back from college. So I was getting back into the LA scene. Like,
Sky Hutch was over there.
I remember Sky Hutch.
There was a group called my homie Crunch, and what was the name? Rain Major. Rain Major was the crew.
That name,
bro. Like, it was so much. Like, I'm with you on that. In that we're surrounded by so much talent that I think sometimes it's so regular to us, we forget how irregular it is to everybody else. Right.
And it's like, man, like we just so creative. It ain't like, I don't fucking do that name dropping shit. I mean, once upon a time I'll be like, yeah, I know such and such. Like, the nigga asked me, but nigga, if you find out I know this motherfucker, that's on you.
I love that, because bro, I didn't.
I'm just a Leimert nigga, and niggas know who I am, and I know niggas, and we happen to know each other.
That's all you gotta know.
And it's cool. You come to Leimert Park, you might see me rolling around that motherfucker. I don't know. I'm trying to be a unicorn nowadays, unless I'm popping out and DJing. Right. But sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman. I'm the one that up to scold him, huh? You had to get that out real quick. Shout out to K-Dot, man.
All we've been doing around this house is asking, what is it, the braids? That's all we doing around here. Man, one more time, be fresh. We appreciate your time, bro.
Appreciate you, my brother.
This won't be the last time.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, don't you threaten me ever again with a EP or to break the internet and think that ain't gonna happen.
Hey,
as we hear,
we gonna have to talk about this Be Fresh Curtis King collaboration, bro.
You know, right now, it's just,
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to the. I know the Bay GP is new, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give it some time. I'm gonna let it simmer. I'm gonna finish with Black Boy shit, and then we gonna talk.
Let's talk. Look, if that's what it's gonna take, then it's gonna happen. You
appreciate you having me, bro.
Come on now. All right, DIYers, once again, I do appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in. Definitely follow Be Fresh on all the different outlets. I'm gonna have it here in the description for you to check out. But yeah. Time-stamped all that, what you got to check out. Thank y'all once again for supporting the channel. Until the next time, DIYers.
Curtis, DIYer.